thing when January comes around. And I really kind of hate that attitude, to be totally honest. I think it's a really poor attitude. So I decided it's a perfect time of the year for me to put this together to supercharge you guys up until the end of the year. Time doesn't really matter, right? It's a construct amongst humans, isn't it? Like, it's just kind of made up, really. So I hate seeing people waste their potential, waste their time, waste their resources when they could be going out there and actually building something amazing. Now, you might be in this group with a very new startup business. If you're in this group and you don't have a business, dare I say, this might not be the best training for you. This is focused on business owners. If you're in this training because you have a startup and you're not doing too much revenue yet, totally fine. You're going to get a lot of value from this. If you've already got an established business, you're just not doing very good online, then especially good, you're going to do fantastic inside this training. If somehow my marketing wasn't clear enough on my stories or inside the group or on my emails, however you guys found out about this training here, if you have somehow got in here and you're wondering how to grow your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever, to be able to get like free dresses from Opoly or a MyProtein 10% discount code you can put in your bio, the easiest way for me to say this is just fuck off out of this webinar, please. Just fuck off. I cannot be asked for you, right? That's me just being totally honest. I know that's harsh, right? But Jesus, Joni, man, see, dealing with like, I hate using the umbrella term influencers, right? But I hope you're in here because you're here to make money, not because you're here hoping to grow your audience to end up on fucking Love Island, right? Because I am not going to be able to show you how to do that. I have never been invited on Love Island. I thank God every day for that. And everything I do on social media is around building my brand, my personal brand, and ultimately something very important to me, making money. Now, I have got some slides as we go through this today. I'm testing out a new camera setup inside of my office just with my iMac. So we're going to hopefully not have any technical issues today, and I'll be able to pull up the slides as and when I need them. So one thing I want to just encourage you to do is, whether it's on your laptop, your phone, your iPads, pen and paper, don't care what it is, make sure you're ready and prepared to take as many notes as possible. Sometimes when you go into these trainings, people just expect they're going to be recorded, sent out to everyone at the end. This is a really, really powerful training. It's also free. That is plenty to give. I'm not going to get my team to edit this and send you guys all and all that kind of stuff. So if you want value from this training, it is on you to listen, to commit to stay to the end. And by the way, this is a really important one. Commit to stay to the end because, firstly, I've already told you guys it's a no sales webinar. You're not staying to the end for anything other than an amazing bonus that's completely free. So if you want that bonus, you want to take advantage of it, then you need to make sure you're committing to staying in the webinar from now until then. And what was I forgot what was saying at first. Yeah, totally got sidelined on that. But fingers crossed for no technical issues anyway. Just make sure that if you want value from this training, get your value. I'm speaking here to all of you guys. Make sure you note down the stuff that works for you, stuff specific to your business, or just note down absolutely everything that's going to give you a point of reference to go back and forward on, and make sure that you're able to take some stuff away that's actionable inside of your business. If you have ever done a training with me before, which if I look at some of the names in here, I know a couple of you have. Some names are familiar, some names not so familiar, but regardless of who you are, you're definitely welcome here, so don't worry. I tend to do this at the start of all of my trainings just to make sure that you understand the way that I operate, right? And I kind of do this bit here just to get people's permission. If for some reason I communicate with you directly about something in this webinar, which there's going to be a little bit of Q&A, so I might, and I think that you're being an idiot, it is my responsibility as a coach to tell you that you're being an idiot. If you're one of these people that's like, oh yeah, I'd love to do that, but I play 5-a-sides on a Tuesday and I fucking go to darts on a Thursday and shit, I'm just going to tell you you're a fucking absolute loser and you need to get your priorities in check. I'm a believer in radical transparency. So I'm not here to massage your shoulders. Oh yeah, that's a really good idea. That's going to go really well. If I think it's going to be shit, I'm going to tell you it's shit. So if you don't like people telling the truth, and you're more interested in people giving your shoulders a little rub and patting you on the back and telling you how amazing you are, I'm not the type of person that you probably ever want to do any form of training with in your life. That's me just being totally honest. I would rather you knew that and understood the way that I coach these trainings, these programs, as opposed to, just sitting about and thinking you're going to get something that is not actually available. Now, before we get started, I've got this lovely, believe it or not, this is actually a quadruple espresso. It pours a small double espresso out of a coffee machine, but you press the button again and it runs it through. So I like to have this before I start my trainings because it just turns me into an absolutely raging psychopath. And I need to keep the water there because I actually don't like the taste of coffee. So slange, guys. Oh, wow, that's fucking disgusting. Oh, but now I'm charged up and I'm fucking ready to go. So I'm assuming that if you've stayed inside the group there, I actually seen one person drop off. Thank you. Fuck off. Please never come back. I'm assuming that the rest of you have given me your permission to crack on as normal. So make sure you're here for your own benefit. Keep that in your mind, right? You're here for your own benefit. So fudging stuff and talking nonsense isn't going to help you. Be honest with yourself throughout this training, and it's going to give you the best possible angle to actually apply the stuff we're going to talk about. All right. So who in here is still scared about putting themselves out there on social media or their business, not just you, in like a bigger way? I always ask this question, whether I'm doing one-to-ones with people, whether I'm doing group coaching at a business or whatever it is. The reason I ask this is when you coach people on how to go and do different things in their lives, regardless of what it is, but in this instance, changing how their business looks online with a key focus on revenue generation, you can show them all the best things in the world, the best strategies, the best times to post for their type of niche, the best AI systems to use, all the different things that you would imagine you'd get in this box to, hand over to them and crack on with that. That stuff is all well and good, but the skill is only as good as the confidence of the user. I know that many people in here, because I see this on average, a lot of the trainings we do in real life, and I ask this question, and you see the hands in the room go up, and it's like normally 70+% of the room. Most people are actually still a little bit worried about putting their face out there, putting their business out there, that it really holds them back from doing anything in terms of the online revenue generation within their business. They pretty much don't post whatsoever because they're scared of judgment. So I want to spend, it's probably going to take 15 minutes just now, right? So a small bit of time. I just wanted to give you guys some of my key thoughts and my approaches to overcoming the fear of judgment. I have had a fair amount of it in my life, so I think I'm pretty good at giving advice on this stuff because I want you guys to go out there and be able to promote and market and display yourself and your business with complete confidence. If you can't get that bit right, the rest of the stuff does not matter. That bit not being sorted out and leveled and secure, you can't build on top of it. It's like building a house. If the foundations are getting poured into soaking wet mud and you're hoping to build a beautiful mansion on top of it, realistically, you've got fucking no chance, right? It is never, ever going to happen. So let's spend a little bit of time just now, 10, 15 minutes. Let's overcome this fear of judgment. By the way, this is going to benefit you in every aspect of your life, not just for your social media and your online revenue generation and building up your brand and all that kind of stuff. This type of attitude will serve a purpose in every single thing that it is you do. The more confident you are, the higher you hold your head, just the better you feel about yourself and your business, the better service you can provide to people. Ultimately, I think that's just kind of fucking obvious, to be honest, right? So let's crack on with this just now. I'll ask you a question first so that I understand the type of people that I'm working with. Obviously, I can't hear you guys, so answer this for yourselves. But we aren't really in business for fun or for a laugh, for something to do because you're bored. As far as I understand, you're here, especially in this training, because you want to get some type of determined result in a business that you actually take seriously. Maybe you're full-time in that business, so it's your 100% of your income is that business. Maybe it's part-time alongside your job just now, and you're trying to build that thing up to eventually replace your income, or maybe you're at a point where your business is going so well, you're thinking about over the next 2-3 years positioning that business to sell for a 7-figure exit. I would like to think there is no one in here who is in business for any of those other reasons, for fun, for a laugh, for something to do. Now, that doesn't mean that your business can't be fun while you do it. I have fucking amazing fun doing what I do, right? I also have an absolute laugh with my staff and my business partner and all my mates and stuff like that. It's great fun. And I guess it is something to do in a roundabout way as well, because it's what I do every single day. I'm here on a Sunday live. Loads of people think these webinars are pre-recorded. It's fucking 13:44 Sunday, the 8th of October, right? This is me actually sitting here talking to you guys. But this is my whole life. I love what it is I do, but I'm serious about it. I approach this business with a certain degree of focus, with decorum, with professionalism, and also a little bit of how I like to do business as well. But it's understanding, accepting amongst all of us just now that no one in here is in business just for a little giggle, right? So now that we've got that bit kind of, ticked off, I want to ask you just a series of questions and answer them honestly. No one's hearing your answers anyway, so answer them honestly and it's going to benefit you the most. First question is do you value the opinions of strangers? I'm so terrible at shaving, I've cut myself everywhere, man. It's because I can't grow a beard. So are you someone who values the opinions of strangers? I'll give you a wee example of that. Just in case you're thinking, oh, well, situationally, let's say that you just got yourself ready. And I think especially if we've got any women in the training today, you guys get this worse than 99% of people. So let's say that you are getting ready for a night out, a big do, whatever it's going to be, and you've got yourself all dressed up. You go to leave your front door, you're stepping out just to walk over to the taxi or walk over to your car, and a random person you've never seen before, never met them, don't recognise them, you're walking over to the car and they look at you and they say, by the way, that outfit there, don't really think that suits you, but have a good night anyway, and they walk on. Would you, if time permitted, go and change that outfit? Would you change how you look? Would you tweak a couple of different things because that stranger has given you their input on how it is you look and how it is you're carrying yourself that night? Or would you just be like, well, fuck it and get in the car? Some people might get in the car and it might still play on their head as well. It's understanding whether you value the opinions of strangers, because what I fundamentally want to do is devalue any value you hold in the opinions of strangers. I want to drastically devalue that. Think for a second how much internet hate actually translates into real life. This is probably a pretty hard calculation to make, but I can give you my personal situation with this. Now, if you're in this training, you either follow me somewhere, you subscribe to me somewhere, like, maybe you followed me for a fucking week, you could have followed me for a year, but you have an understanding probably of who I am and what it is I do loosely. And over the years that I've been promoting myself, building my brand, building my different businesses, and just doing all the stuff that I do, I have not always, in fact, I have rarely been well received by people on the internet. Most of the interaction I've had on the internet is actually negative. So I've got quite a lot of data to substantiate the stuff that I'm saying here, especially in this little section here. Now, I have had some hilarious things said to me in my life. I've had, I was out last night with some friends to watch the boxing, not out drinking anywhere. It was actually a place that doesn't even serve alcohol. But someone came in who was very drunk, sat down the couch beside me because they noticed me and they wanted to start talking about business and stuff. That happens all the time. Very rarely, and I'll give you a precise calculation in a second, have I ever had someone come up to me in real life and actually want to try and cause any type of physical or verbal problem with me. There's been one situation that has ever happened in my life, and for someone who's had a combined over 50 million organic views, that doesn't include any of my ads that have hundreds of thousands of views on top of all of that, but 50 million organic views. I actually got a student from Strathclyde University. I paid them to do an Excel spreadsheet on my videos and keep following how many views I was getting, which is quite interesting. And probably somewhere in the region, if I remember right, of over 100,000 comments. I've had everything said to me that you can imagine. I had one situation. I was out in Glasgow, which is stupid straight away. I'd had a couple of drinks. This was like maybe a year ago. And someone came up to me, had a problem with the type of videos that I made. It turned into a physical altercation. Thankfully, prior to me being the guy that you know, the entrepreneur, the coach, I was a little bit handy fighting wise, and I was able to defend myself. Unfortunately, broke my hand, but that wasn't the only thing that was broken in that altercation. It was certainly the only thing of mine that was broken. So, given that as a rough calculation, we've got around about a 1 in 50 million view chance of having anything happen. Now, across that journey from me having no views on the internet to a lot of views on the internet, I've generated multiple millions in revenue. I have spoken at amazing events, I've hosted amazing events, I've built really cool businesses, I've done really amazing things across the board, right? So for you guys there thinking, starting to shit yourself imagining 50 million people viewing you, you do not need to get to a point where you've got even 1 million combined views to make hundreds of thousands of pounds every year. It was the style of content that I made that made it go as popular as that. I don't want to use the word viral. I wouldn't call it viral. But it was the type of content that I was producing. So the chances of you actually having any internet hate translate to real life is just so slim, right? We need to think about high ROI and low ROI activities on social media. For those of you that don't know what I mean by ROI, it stands for return on investment. So people normally think about that money-wise. It can also be putting your time into something. What do you actually receive back for that time input? And these people, out of all the 100,000 comments, the worst comments I've ever had, like just people saying mad shit to you, it has never been from an actual person. If I'm going to say something to someone and I'm going to tell you that I think you're a fucking loser or whatever, I'm going to do it on @Richard Greg Dixon, and I'm going to tell you, and that's it. It's that simple. The lowest ROI activity anyone can do on the internet is be one of these fucking dweeby little virgins on a fucking user 59723 fake account, 0 followers, 0 following, 0 likes, 0 posts, nothing, right? These people comment on it, oh yeah, you're trying to start a business, you're a fucking idiot. Like, what a fucking gimp. You could not be a lower piece of shit in the world, right? I'm not saying piece of shit, it's like, oh, pure upsetting. It's like, it's so embarrassing. Now, I know just by the law of averages, from the number of people that we've got in here just now, someone in here has been that person in the past. You have made a fake account to go and comment on someone's stuff. By the way, I had someone come up to me at one of my trainings once before and admit to me, I used to be one of those guys. I used to come on your page on a fucking fake account and say shit about you, right? So I was like, okay, fair enough. I'm glad you came here and I converted you, right? So if you are or have been one of those people, understand that this is the biggest fucking stupidest, daftest waste of time in your life. Hang that shit up and stop being a fucking loser. On the flip side, if you're someone receiving that, there is one thing you should feel for these people, and it's absolute pity. It's complete pity. They're never going to amount to anything. They're never going to achieve anything. If they were that confident or that crazy and mental and they were actually going to do something to you, they would comment on their normal fucking account. No, it's that simple. No one on the internet is actually going to come and do anything unless you're selling some radically political, divisive, separatist, mental fucking thing that is like illegal. Yeah, maybe you might get someone doing that, but I'd like to think from some of the names in here that I notice and maybe some that I don't, you're actually selling a decent product and you're not a complete idiot, right? I mean, I hope so. Anyway, that's fingers crossed. I want you to think of the most important person in your whole life. Mum, dad, son, daughter, auntie, uncle, wife, husband, whoever it is. Just think in your head for a wee second, just go, right, I've got that person. And I want you to think about saying this sentence to them, right? That some of you might laugh at first, but it's actually quite serious. Sorry, insert name. We can't buy / go to / do insert thing because I was too scared of people on the internet who I would never meet, never speak to, and never do any business with, leaving a comment that would hurt my feelings, right? And people kind of sit back and laugh and go, oh yeah, that does kind of sound a bit stupid. Because when you put this together, parents, maybe for the parents in here or whatever, you imagine saying, oh, sorry, wee David, that we can't buy you a pair of new trainers or a this or a that. because I was too scared of people. And they just straight away think of material things, right? Which is fine. I was very acutely aware when I was younger of our situation in the household financially, so I wouldn't ask for stuff. I just knew, like, I wasn't ever told not to ask for stuff. I just knew, so I didn't do it. And it made things easier because it didn't upset my parents. I can imagine as a parent, not being able to give your child something can be really upsetting, right? So I knew about that and I didn't ask it. But see, in here, and we start thinking about, oh, yeah, I would love to buy my kid the PS5 or the holiday. Fucking strip it back for a second. The risk that you're taking by being, oh, I'm too scared to post myself on the internet, and oh, what if people leave a nasty comment? What if people say I'm ugly, or people say this, and oh yeah, maybe I won't be able to buy trainers for my kids, but I'll be a confident parent. Right, shut up for a second and just listen to me. Take the material stuff out of it. And I say this because I see it all the time and it upsets me. I'm not saying it to vilify this thing. How often do you go on social media and you see someone's child, or you see someone's friend or family member, and their life, their actual whole life, depends on the generosity of other people through a GoFundMe? Hey, this is my mum, this is my son, this is my daughter, they've got a super rare disease and we need to raise 50 grand to be able to take this child to America or to this specialist hospital for treatment. It's the only way we're going to be able to save their life. Anything you can donate would be perfect. So let's fucking strip it back for a second at that sentence. Sorry, for me, I'm going to say my mum. Love my mum. Sorry, mum, I'm not able to send you for that life-saving medical treatment because I was too scared of people on the internet I would never meet, never speak to, and never do business with, leaving a comment that would hurt my feelings, right? That goes from being, oh yeah, a little bit stupid, to you're just a selfish bastard, right? This sounds harsh, and it's meant to be harsh. This isn't meant to make you feel nice. It's not meant to make you feel good. It's meant to make you see the reality of the world and why it is being financially successful is no longer, oh yeah, I would like to do that one day. I would like to make a bit of extra money. There's none of that. It is an absolute 100% responsibility. If you care about yourself, your friends, your family, your dependents, your greater community, all of that stuff, then you have an absolute responsibility to create financial success. And if you don't go and do that, then you put yourself at risk of not being able to provide for anything, a very broad spectrum of things, for the people that you actually care about. So if you are that person, or you have been that person, I want to just ask you a question. Does that actually sound reasonable to you? Do you think that is a reasonable excuse? Do you think that if someone who you really loved, I'll give you an example of this. I was making somewhere in the region of, 100 to 200,000 pounds a year at this point. Not right now, I'm talking about in the past. I was driving a BMW i8, had my first property that I was living in. It was a lovely little flat. Absolutely loved the place. I kind of wish I never left. I should have stayed there. This lovely flat, had my i8, had an A45 AMG, Rolex, nice jackets, Louis Vuitton bags, all the stuff that when I was still a little scheme rat, that was what I wanted. For those of you that don't know what that means, if you're not from Scotland, when I was living in council houses and all that kind of stuff growing up, that's the stuff I wanted. And I had a cousin called Abby, and she was a little bit older than me. And my middle name, Greg, is from my cousin Abby's brother, right? His name's Greg. So Abby, I won't give you the full story, but very up and down life. And Abby, unfortunately, from a pretty young age, was a very bad heroin addict. So she had a kid taken off her, jumping in and out of different houses and secure units and hostels and hospitals and you name it, all the different things, right? Now, Abby, through the help of Greg, was able to get clean for a while. And it was all well and all good, and I was super focused on my business. And it was never asked or expected of me, but it's after the worst thing possible happens that you start to think about it. I could have afforded to if I had chosen to, and the reason I think this is selfish is because I should have had autonomy. Then I should have chosen to do this thing. I could have afforded to pay for high level treatment. I could have afforded to pay for a property for assisted living, for all of these different things, for Abby, and I didn't ultimately. And the reason that that's a problem now is because very soon after, whilst I'm doing super well and doing all these things, she died of a heroin overdose. Late 20s, whole life still ahead of her, dead, right? Now, I don't live thinking like with regret about this, because there was so much in that situation that wasn't in my control, that I wouldn't be able to do, that I wouldn't be able to, pull strings with, and all that kind of stuff. But I was in a position financially where, had I just been a little bit more, had a bit more forethought, maybe is the word, I would have been able to not just, oh, sorry we couldn't buy you trainers, sorry I couldn't get you the PS5. I have a thing in my head just now that I feel like I'm like, sorry that this person is no longer here, and I could have potentially solved that. Now, it is what it is. People make their own decisions in life. You can't solve every single person's problems. But had I been in that situation and it has been asked of our family, and I was not at a point where I was making that kind of money, you feel helpless, don't you? Seeing someone you love struggle, needing something, you feel absolutely helpless. There's nothing you can do, especially as a man. I think that I know there's some women in this call as well, but I can only speak for myself. It attacks your masculinity, doesn't it? Because you feel like, oh, I've not actually achieved anything here. I've not been able to go and do anything, and I can't help. It attacks your natural ambition to provide and protect your family. So that shouldn't sound reasonable to anyone. No one should think about that sentence that I've said there and went, oh no, that's reasonable. Yeah, I don't sit here and go, oh yeah, it's reasonable that I had loads of fucking money and my cousin's dead, right? Ultimately, which I can laugh about because it's me, right? So I can laugh. I'm not going to start crying. Like I said, it is what it is. But don't allow yourself to fall into such a fucking ridiculous side of society that think that that's reasonable. If you, by the way, this is not me saying don't donate to GoFundMe's and all that. I donate to them all the time. What I'm saying is, if you can build yourself into a position in life of ultimate security, it is through building financial success. It's that simple, right? So if for some reason any of you did think that was reasonable, or any of you are that person, or any of you are still sitting thinking, oh, I'm not going to put myself out there on social media because, well, what if this thing happens? You're going to cry more when something bad fucking comes up and you're not able to do anything about it. So if you are that person, what is your real reasons for being selfish? Because that's all it is. Because see, from this point onwards, I've kind of just almost tweaked how you're going to approach so many different things. Because even if you choose to listen to this, agree with it in your head, and then never apply it, you will never be able to forget this moment where I spun the mirror and showed it to you right now and made you aware of your own selfish reasons as to why you're not going out there and chasing financial success. Oh, money's not everything. Money's not the be all and end all. No problem. Say that to your loved one when they're lying on their deathbed and you could have solved it and you've got no fucking way to do it, right? So some of you might not be in that situation right now. It's time to actually start putting the work in today. Time to start working towards that. Yeah, you should have started 5 years ago. You can't, unfortunately. It's time to start now. And just remember why you do what you do. It's the core driver of all your actions. People use that, what is that saying? When you know the why, the how is easy, something like that, which is a nice little saying. It's not the whole picture, doesn't paint the perfect picture of everything, doesn't literally mean that you just start unlocking skills in your head, but it definitely gives you that extra gear to drop into and start to pull away when you're passionate about the people and the things you're going to be able to do when you reach that level. We all have people who want to help. We all have family. We all have friends. We all have people who raised us, who work so hard that just don't have what we think they deserve. Let's face it, working hard is not a prerequisite for success. You work hard. I used to work hard. Everyone works hard. If working hard meant that you automatically became successful, none of us would be in this call just now. It's about having tactics, strategies to approach. That's that little section finished. I just wanted to make sure that we're all feeling good on this this Sunday morning. I'm just going to check the school group quickly on my mobile app to make sure that there's no real massive issues in here. 3 membership requests pending. It's fucking hilarious that. Like, why are you trying to come in now? It started. The fucking group's been there for 2 weeks, and you're trying to come in now. Dirty so and so's, man. Dirty so and so's. So I want to ask you a question. Who in here actually has a content schedule online? And I mean one that you've stuck to for more than 5 minutes. So that every week you know that you are making X amount of posts, X amount of stories, X amount of email campaigns, if that's something that you do, X amount of videos. Like if you actually have a content schedule that you've been following consistently for, let's say, a period over 8 weeks, the likelihood is that you might not. So if you do, awesome, I'm proud of you. But there's maybe a chance that your content schedule isn't putting enough out there. And there's also a chance that the type of content you're uploading isn't the most optimized for that platform. Now, I think having a content schedule is extremely important. That is my opinion on it. I think it's something that really matters. It also makes your content creation process extremely streamlined and far easier to do because you know your expectations every day. I've started working with an online coach recently, and that's one of the big things that's really helped me with my fitness journey is not having to think about anything. Just wake up. I know what I'm meant to eat. I know what I'm meant to do exercise-wise. I just have a schedule there. It's just made it so much easier. So that's essentially one of the things I want to do for you guys today. By the way, we've not even what time is it now? 2:05. Like I said, guys, commit to being on this webinar to the end because I've got an amazing bonus for you. But this is content heavy. This isn't some 1 hour long fucking fluffy webinar. There's a lot in here. So for those of you that don't, I'm going to give you my number one content schedule, especially for beginners. If you have an account at 20,000 followers plus, that's when you get to a point where you've kind of bedded into your audience and you can really start moving about. And I do things every couple of weeks where I deliberately go a 24-hour period without posting any stories, just to kind of reset my algorithm and then boost it for the week. Just now, if you're under that 20,000 followers on a brand page or on a personal brand page, this is the content schedule that I want you to follow exactly. So make sure you're noting this down. Per platform. So today our focus is kind of on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. If any of you aren't using LinkedIn, go and register a LinkedIn account tonight. I know what you're probably thinking. LinkedIn is like a job application website. That's exactly what I thought before. LinkedIn, how I like to describe it, is like Facebook for professionals. And there's an opportunity on LinkedIn to make ridiculous money when you start to produce the right content. LinkedIn was the reason I was able to make 100K my first year of business. It was, yeah, bits came from other places, but LinkedIn was the main reason. So per platform, what I want you to do is 3 main page posts per week. So on Instagram, that's 3 grid posts. On Facebook, that's 3, feed posts. And on LinkedIn, it's 3 posts also. Mixtures of text and image, but I'm going to give you a breakdown on which performs best for each platform just in a second. If the platform has a story function, like Facebook or Instagram, I want you to post 5 stories per day. It's not a lot. You might be thinking 5 stories per day. What am I going to post? It's fine. We'll talk about that in a second, right? 3 main page posts per week and 5 stories per day. When I say that this is your optimum content schedule, I should probably tweak that slightly. This is your optimum minimum content schedule. If you want to do 5 main page posts per week, perfect. You want to do 8 stories per day, awesome. Keep boosting, keep producing loads of volume, that's great. But if you want to get any traction whatsoever, you actually want to start growing your reach, you want to start getting more customers' eyes on your product, on your brand, on your personal brand, that is what I want you to do, bare minimum. 3 main page posts per week, 5 stories per day. That's it. People all have these like mad ideas about what it is you can do to generate more interaction from your users. Bear in mind, I'm in some of the most prominent and also most expensive masterminds for my industry in the whole of the UK, some of which cost for myself and my business partner Paul close to 6 figures per year. Before you fly there, before you get before you get hotels, before you fucking feed yourself, it's a fortune, right? And you hear people, I see all these guys online that are talking about, oh yeah, I'm doing social media coaching, and what you do is when someone follows you, you send them a message straight away because that activates something. This is all bullshit, right? It's all absolute bullshit. It's very, very simple, this game. Posting, stories, and customer interaction. That's it. We'll talk more about the latter part of that in a second. So the key types of content for each platform. When we're talking about LinkedIn, we'll get that one out of the way first, because it's probably the one usually using the least, and it's one that I really want you to put a key focus on. With LinkedIn, it's one of the few platforms that still performs really well with text-only posts. Other platforms aren't really too keen on that just now. So LinkedIn, text-only or text and image is your two best forms of content on there. LinkedIn, I prefer not to use stuff like hashtags and all that. I just produce strong text with maybe an image now and then. The image is never going to be the thing on LinkedIn that really grabs people. The text is. LinkedIn's this type of social media that when people go on there, they're almost making a commitment before they go on to like actually sitting down and reading posts, because they'll go in there and they understand the type of people that are on there, the type of content that's on there. So you can give a little bit more value on LinkedIn with your post straight off the bat, which you maybe can't do on other platforms. Instagram, your key form of content on Instagram right now is the Instagram Reel. I'm not going to be like, oh, it's a post with this and these hashtags and make it this size and these colors. It is fucking Reels. Short form content is the absolute king just now. We see it with YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels, all these different short form videos. It's why our dopamine receptors are absolutely fried. It is literally because of these things. But because we see it going so well, we should lean into that stuff. Now, you look at my Instagram, I don't post only Reels. I probably post maybe 2 or 3 Reels per week, then some still images and stuff like that as well. It's always good to have a mixture of content. But for the highest performance in terms of the algorithm, it's going to be Instagram Reels. And I'm going to explain why features like Reels and other features that are coming out on social media just now are performing so much better than the other features of those platforms. Now on Facebook, the king is text and image. Shorts aren't performing as well on Facebook. The best way to have your Reels perform on Facebook is to share them to Facebook through Instagram. That is genuinely the best way to do it. Instagram is a visual platform. Instagram has always been, it was images for a long time. I got Instagram in 2013, I think it was. So 10 years, wow, 10 years on Instagram, that's absolutely nuts. So I got Instagram in 2013, it was images only. Then they brought in stories. Then they brought in videos. Then they brought in video stories. So over time, it's always been a visual platform. Yes, sometimes you can give slightly longer captions. I've had success with that in the past. But people are going on Instagram to look at stuff, dog photos, hashtag pick of the day back in, if any of you remember that, some of you will be too young for that. That was just what you went on Instagram for, right? Facebook with a text and image, it's just optimum for that platform. People are going on Facebook for those things. Yeah, there's some video on there and you get loads of ads on Facebook and stuff like that, which is good if you're running ads. But text and image on Facebook is the absolute most optimum. So if you're going and you're going to start slamming your 3 posts per week on Instagram, I would like to think that you're going to make at least one of those posts an Instagram Reel, at least one. Make sure that you're filming this way around, not this way. There is nothing worse than someone uploading a Reel that's been filmed landscape and it's got the 2 big black bits of space above it and below it. It just looks so shit, right? So for your 3 posts on Instagram, at least make one of them a Reel. Facebook, all of them text and image. And LinkedIn, mix them up between text only or text and image. Now, the reason I was saying that Reels is the best on Instagram is that it's one of the newest features. Yeah, it's been about for probably almost a year now, but it's still one of the newest main content features on the Instagram platform. And for that reason, we should always make use of the newest features of any platform when they're brought out, right? When Instagram put Reels out there, they put it there to become a competitor with TikTok, for example. Same as when YouTube created Shorts. They wanted to take the massive amount of interaction and user base that TikTok had and try and migrate them onto the platforms of YouTube and Instagram. So what do you think they wanted to do for people that were producing Reels on Instagram? Well, they wanted that Reel to be shown to as many people as possible, to get as many views, to get as many likes. Why? Because social media interaction for 99% of people is very addictive, right? Hence why 99% of men who are in good shape these days are constantly flexing tops off in the photos, and women are all cutting about like with their boobs out, right? Because they want to get the most amount of interaction possible. And that is how they get it, because social media likes, vanity metrics like that are extremely addictive. So if you're posting on TikTok and you maybe post a video and it gets 2,000 views and you go, oh, Instagram's just released this Reels thing, I'm going to go and try it. You post it and you get 10,000 views. Where are you going to post your next video? It's going to be on Instagram. So these social media platforms, they're not stupid. They gamify them on purpose to give the newest features, the highest forms of interaction, to make them stick and become a main feature on that platform. So if you're going, for example, LinkedIn Live just now, I'm not sure that it's been rolled out to all users, but LinkedIn Live was rolled out to a bunch of users on the platform, which meant that you could go onto LinkedIn and start doing a live video. That was a new feature, and the people that were doing that were absolutely exploding. I've personally never used Twitter for business. My Twitter is a St Mirren fan account. That is all it is. I don't really post anything else on there. So I'm just moving my fan closer to me because I'm absolutely sweating my balls off. So it was basically just a St Mirren fan account on my Twitter. But when Twitter Spaces came out, it was like the little audio rooms. Guys like Grant Cardone and all these big kind of creators on other platforms went onto Twitter, used that feature, and were growing like million+ audiences. It was absolutely fucking nuts. That's because these platforms, when they spend all that time, all that money, all those resources developing that new feature, they want it to be worth the while. They want it to stick. They want it to be a commonly used feature of that platform. So anytime a new thing comes out, make use of it, because you're going to get a massive algorithm boost. Like just now on Instagram, they're bringing out some TikTok-y type of features in the sense that when someone comments on your reel, you can reply with a video now, like how you would when you reply on TikTok. So as time goes on, that is how I'm going to maybe start doing my Q&As. I'll post a reel and say, guys, ask me questions down below, and all it's going to be is real replies, real replies, real replies. So any new features, you need to lean into them. Is going to get you a massive, like a really huge organic algorithm boost on that platform. So think for a second, who is the target audience for your business? And take a minute to write it down. And I want you to base it on 3 main core factors, and then there's often some sub factors as well. So what kind of age is the type of person that you want to do business with? What gender are they? Male, female? Does it not really matter? It can be anyone. And what is their location? Are you a physical store? So people actually need to be able to come to the place that you do business. Are you able to deliver business in consulting, if that's what you do, like this via Zoom? Are you able to sell your product online because, you know, it's an online product? You run a drop shipping store, a Shopify e-com store. How is it that you do your business? That's where the location is going to be. So it could be worldwide. It could be Glasgow. It could be Scotland. It could be Europe. There's a lot of different factors there. So I want you to think for a second, because I'm going to make it quite clear why so many of us are building businesses for people that don't actually exist on social media. I have done this before in the past, been an idiot about it and fucked it up. So I want you guys to learn that lesson from me. So by now you've probably written down who your target audience is. You have a rough idea in your head. If you know your product and your service, yeah, these are the kind of people that I would like. This is the kind of location they're in. This is the age they're in. There might be other factors like income and experience and all that kind of stuff. Like not all businesses are just based on those 3 metrics, but the 3 of them are your kind of core bits of understanding of your audience that you need to have. So what I want to ask you is, if that's your current target audience for your business, and you know that from the people you work with and, you know, your industry and all that kind of stuff, well, let me ask, does that actually match your current audience on social media? The funny thing is, when I ask that question, 99% of you don't have a clue. You've got no idea. Oh, does that match my current audience? Well, I put some content out there and I still get likes and stuff. So, but I don't really know. I don't know who follows me. I don't know what age they are. I don't know what gender they are. This is where the problem lies. So let's understand how we're able to get that information, where we get it, so that you can actually build your offers and build your business around people that exist on your social media. For those of you that don't have social media, which I struggle to believe, or maybe you're going to be going to start a new business account or something like that, then you've got a good opportunity that you can build this audience from the start, right? So you can deliberately build an audience that is falling into your target demographic for your business. So let me just use an example that I'm going to share my screen with you for a second so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm going to use my own account as an example. So let's just say that I have decided, because I'm a PT, I'm not a PT, I'm acting just now. So let's say that I'm a PT and I've decided that I'm going to build a women's only training center targeted specifically at women over 40. So you're probably going to be having women in there who are looking to lose weight because they've had their kids now and, you know, they're not happy with how their bodies look, or they've let themselves go slightly and they want to be more confident in a bikini and all these different things, right? So I've thought about it and I went, you know what? There's loads of women out there that need a business like that. I'm going to create a women's only facility targeted specifically at women over 40. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my time building that offer. I'm going to go and I'm going to get a physical premises. I'm going to buy all the gym equipment. I've got all of this stuff there. This is the process that people go through, right? They have the idea, they do all the stuff, but they haven't actually checked if those people even exist on their social media or within their marketplace, right? They spend all this time, all this money. It's a big fucking risk building a thing that they don't have a clue if anyone's going to actually enjoy it. The worst people for this are restaurateurs. I'll buy a unit there and I'll put a restaurant in there. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Fucking nuts. So let's say that I've had that idea. Women's only training centre, women over 40. I'm going to help them get more in shape. And then the thing that you see when you check your social media is this, right? Let me just escape a second. Need to be able to. Oh, why is it stuck? 1 second. I accidentally untiled the screen. Where's Zoom? I can't find Zoom now. Oh my goodness. I've went from being social media legend to social media donkey here. Well, this isn't really social media, is it? So this is what you see. You guys will be able to see my screen just now. So that is screenshots of my Instagram analytics from yesterday, right? So what's the problem? What do we see here that's the issue? Because I have said, you know, I'm going to build a women's only training center. Women are going to absolutely love it. It's going to be great for them. Women over 40, it's going to be absolutely spectacular. Well, let's look here for a second. Firstly, at the part on the right, we're going to see quite clearly that my audience is made up of, in the last 30 days, 85.7% men and 14.2% women. If we look on the left, my largest audience on my social media is 25 to 34. That's a 48.4% bulk of my audience. But for 40 and above, it's half of 16.7% and a little bit of 4.3%. So when I thought I was launching a business to, you know, 25,000 people, I was potentially only launching a business. And what you need to think about is the percentages of ages. We're only getting 14.2% of that total percentage. Tiny little number. I've spent my time, my money, my effort, stress, sweat, excitement for launching this new business. And I've created what I thought was a cool business because it was solving a problem for an audience of people that don't even fucking exist on my social media. I've got very few of them. I've got probably not much of an affinity with my female audience, to be totally honest. Should probably do more for them. And I'm now in a position where I've invested all this time, money, effort, not for nothing, but for a far smaller return. Now, if I was wanting to lean into the audience benefits that I already have, this stuff is very easy to find. You go to your Instagram, you just click Insights. It's literally on your profile page. You go there, it says Insights, or if you've got a business account, it'll say Profile Views. You click that, it's going to show you exactly this, right? I should have probably, in that situation, went, I'm going to create a fitness facility for young men aged between 25 and 34 looking to get into the best shapes of their lives. Because that is 85% of the gender of my audience and 25%, sorry, 48.4% of my audience is 25 to 34. Now, I could also show you a screenshot that shows that over 60% of my audience is in Scotland, with 38% of that 60% being in Glasgow. So I can have a little bit more confidence in going, okay, I'm going to launch this in Glasgow. It's going to look good. Awesome. Perfect. Right? So that is me leaning into the audience that is there. Are you looking to start a business that you just think, oh, I'll make it really hard for myself and I'm going to make it an audience that I think is cool, even though they don't exist on my social media? Or are we here to start a business that is going to make money for the people we have there? Now, if you're a business owner and you've done exactly what I've just said and you're thinking, holy shit, I've built a business on something that, by the way, I've turned the screen share off just now, just in case you're wondering. I have started a business for people that, yeah, I don't actually know if they do exist. And yeah, I'm fucking balls deep now. I've invested, invested money into this business. I put a lot of effort into this business. What the hell am I meant to do? All you need to do now is what I call re-educating the marketplace. Don't go and change the business, right? Don't go. You've made your commitment now. You're there. You're in the business. But you need to start producing content that speaks to the type of audience that are going to buy your product. So if you are that fitness person right now, you're going, yeah, my name's Richard Dixon and I'm super fucking strong and I'm fast and I can fucking do this and I can fucking do that. And you think you're going to attract women over 40 to come and train with you, you're an absolute nutcase. So you need to start developing content that's actually going to suit your audience a little bit more. So that's the example there of a mistake that, honestly, 99% of business owners probably make. They start this business, they have the idea. The idea in their head is above the existence of the people that are going to buy it, which is just so fucking backwards, guys. Oh, yeah, I've got this idea. That is what I'm going to go and do. That's going to be fucking amazing. They don't realize they've already potentially got a predetermined audience there they could lean into that's going to get them a lot more value. So I hope you guys are understanding that stuff just now. So for you to actually be able to properly cater to your audience, you actually need to know them and their habits and their interests and their activity times and their avatars, right? It's just something that is just so funny to me. Because on that same insights page, it's not just age, gender, location. I know when my audience is most active on a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, right? And for some reason, by the way, I got sucked into this as well. For some reason, at the start of everyone's entrepreneurial journeys, and you're probably managing a job alongside your business, like the one thing you're lacking is time. And the easiest way generally to get more time in a day is how to wake up earlier. If you start work at 9, you can get up at 5, you can get a little bit of work done there before you have to go and do your day job. And then after you finish your day job, you've got some time there you can probably get 4 or 5 hours a day, no bother, in your business if you wake up a little bit earlier. But this becomes a personality trait for loads of people. Oh yeah, fucking 5 a.m. And they think they're so awesome and productive. And through that awesomeness and productivity, they absolutely fucking destroy their social media. And let me explain why. When I go on and I realize, okay, I'm building a business for the wrong gender, for the wrong age demographic, for the wrong location, these people that wake up at 5 a.m., of which you might be some of them, they try and be as productive as possible. So they wake up and they go, okay, I have got 2.5 to 3 hours of work that I can put in before I have to go to my day job. I'm going to get the most out of that. So what can I do in this period of time? Get my social media done, get that uploaded, get a couple of presentations made, have a look at my sales pipeline for the next couple of days and understand who I need to speak to once I'm done at my day job. The worst thing you can do is post your social media at that time. The absolute worst thing. I can tell you right now that the average highest activity time of my audience on social media is 6 p.m. every single day. 6 p.m. every single day. I get a little spike at around about lunchtime and 6 p.m. That is extremely obvious why I have those spikes, because it's people jumping on social media at the lunch break at work. And then it's people going, lying down on the couch, grabbing their phone and starting to go through Instagram and Facebook and all these different platforms. So you getting up and making all your social media content to post it at 6 a.m, thinking you're being super productive and, oh yeah, just get it out the way, get it posted, and yeah, it's uploaded now. Look at me. I'm getting all my social media out there. Awesome. I'm doing really good. I understand your logic, but I hate to tell you, you're probably wrong. Unless you're running a business that's called the 5 a.m. Instagram Club, and everybody wakes up at 5 a.m. and jumps on Instagram, or wakes up at 5 a.m. and jumps on LinkedIn or Facebook. you're showing that to a tiny amount of your audience. So instead of trying to recondition your audience to wake up at 5 a.m. because you're such a hustler and you're such a grafter and you're so amazing, what you should actually be doing is going and just looking at the hard facts. Okay, my audience, I want to make a post tomorrow on Monday. My audience is most active between 5 and 6 p.m. When am I going to upload my post? Between 5 and 6 p.m. My audience is mostly male, between 25 and 34, based in Glasgow. Location doesn't really matter because my businesses are online mostly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a post that I think speaks to the 25 and 34-year-olds who are mostly men. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take a photo of one of my multiple very nice cars because I know those guys love that stuff because they're motivated by getting that kind of stuff in life. I'm going to post a reel that is about social media, about how these guys can apply this kind of stuff in their business and do something awesome. So that's what I'm going to produce my content when I'm posting my main page posts. Don't be led astray by anything other than the data. If you can have the data, it's like a cheat code. You know who they are, where they are, when they're awake, when they're asleep, when they're active. Use that stuff. Don't allow yourself to be, I guess, ignorant and think that you know better than the data that's there. I done this, or maybe I didn't do it. I wasn't ignorant of the data. I just didn't find the data. I was just producing. The funny thing is that you can do probably 90% of this stuff wrong and still make like 8, 9, 10K a month. It's going to be a lot harder. If you've done a lot of this stuff right, you could probably get to 50 to 100K and get to scale quite quickly. But you can do a lot of this wrong and still make money. I was doing a lot of it wrong because I just didn't know. For probably the first year, 2 years I was in business, spending fucking countless hours every week building content for people that probably didn't exist on my Instagram, maybe did exist on my LinkedIn, but just pushing this content out there, still getting results because it was fucking relentless. But I could have, honestly, if I'd known all this stuff now, and the AI systems that I use now, we'll talk about that a bit more as we progress through today's training. If I'd access to all that stuff like fucking 3, 4 years ago, I wouldn't be on this call just now. I would be in the Bahamas getting caviar licked off of my balls, probably. That's me being honest, right? That's what I would be doing because the difference that stuff makes is absolutely nuts. So we need to understand the audience better. If you've not got that audience yet, as in you're starting your social media account, awesome. You get to build your audience around the demographic that you want. But if you already have some followers there on your business account or on your personal account, let's get to understand them, who they are, where they are, what their habits are, their interests, their activity times. This is called building your customer avatar. Or at least that's what I call it anyway. So how can we drastically reduce our time spent creating content? It's one of the hardest things. Pardon me, sorry guys, I'm a little bit groggy. It's one of the hardest things, at the start is producing the content. To follow that content schedule and do it really well, it's going to take you, a good few hours a week. And the thing is, we all probably have a good few hours a week, but realistically, you're not going to do it, right? If you wanted to do it and chain yourself to the laptop and spend your time creating that content, you would already have done it. But the thing is that you don't value that time enough being used for that thing. So we need to think of ways that we can produce that content and drastically reduce the amount of time that we spend actually doing it. So there's a couple of different ways that we can do this. I'm going to talk about 3 different ways, of which I have done all 3. I'm technically still doing all 3 in some ways. So I'm pretty experienced in using all of these. I can give you an understanding of how much some of these might cost, what are the most effective ways, and my personal favorite that we're probably going to put a little bit of focus on today. Now, number 1, this might not be accessible for everyone, but there's going to be entrepreneurs of different experiences, different incomes, different liquidities, like different access to money inside your business. So these things might apply to different people. So I want to make sure everyone is getting something that ticks a box for them. So number 1, super simple, hire a full-time social media manager and content creator. That is the easiest fix. Tick the box, go and do it. But it's not quite as easy as, clicking your fingers and you get it. For a really good social media manager, I'm talking like a really good social media manager with experience, you're going to be somewhere between 30 and 35,000 pounds per year. If you want a content creator, times that by 2, right? You're going to have 60 to 70,000 pounds of new salaries per year. So you've still got to pay their pensions and all that stuff. If you can afford that, awesome. Go and put this to work. Get out there, start recruiting, look and see who's a good fit for you, hire them, and pay them well, treat them well, and you're going to get a good end result. Now, when I say a content creator, people really, for those who don't have staff in here, loads of people overestimate what the staff are going to do. Like, people hire an admin member of staff for 16, 18 grand a year and start expecting them to make sales phone calls and take videos for them and just all this mad shit, right? That's like 3 different members of staff that you're expecting out of one person. So when I say content creator, if you're expecting someone to like be a content creator and they come and they film you and they edit it and they edit your audio and they cut your shorts and they make your Instagram reels and they caption your videos and they manage your YouTube and all this stuff, no. The content creator is going to create like your still images. They're going to do like graphic design for your creatives. Anything that's posted on like Instagram, Facebook, in technical terms is referred to as a creative, right? Just in case you're wondering what I'm talking about. But they're going to make your creatives do your copywriting, so the writing that goes along with your posts, and maybe they're going to do your email marketing campaigns as well. But a video editor is another person. A videographer is another person, right? So soon, for you to have a full media team, easily you're looking at 125 grand a year of new salaries. Now, you don't need to have that 125 grand there straight away, but you need to be able to pay the first couple of months anyway. And you're going to hope at that point that it's going to return some money there. So this is a good option if you maybe already have a team. If you're already doing somewhere in the region of 25, 30k a month, you're probably running about £300,000 a year turnover. You might need to pay yourself a little bit less this year to bring these people in, but sometimes you need to do that. It's a great option doing this, but I understand it's not accessible for everyone, right? So option number 2 is use a freelancer or a virtual assistant. Just to spin back to number 1 for a second, I have got a full-time videographer, a full-time video editor, a full-time content scheduler, a full-time social media manager. As of Tuesday, I've got a full-time Facebook ads manager. I've got a Google ads, which covers YouTube ads as well, manager, all of these things. I don't know the exact salaries off the top of my head just now. Add that up. We're pushing, just for our creative team, before I talk about customer support, before I talk about copywriters for my email marketing and scheduling, because that's in my VA team, you're 200k a year, £250,000 a year. It can be a lot of money. And by the way, they don't come with their own laptops. They don't come with their own cameras. They don't come with their own microphones, with their own software. You pay for all of that. This here is look at that event. It's a spare MacBook Pro that costs about £2 grand that we just keep in the office sitting in case someone needs it. 3 Mac Studios, 25 grand of camera equipment. It's nuts. I hope that you guys get to that point at some point, and I'm so sure that when you go and apply this kind of stuff, and maybe if we ever do some training together in the future, you're going to get a lot of value from that. You can get to a point where you are doing 50 to 100k per year. I don't know why there's 2 Aaron Hunters in here. It just came up. So I am, oh no, one's just went away. That's all good. I was going to say someone giving this training to their friend who's not registered, so I was going to boot you out, but you're fine. It's a lot of money, but when you get to that point, it's amazing to have it. I've got Gary, my main video boy. I can just phone him and be like, Gary, tomorrow I'm going to Dubai. I want you to come with me. And he just flies with me with all the camera equipment, and it's really good. He's an amazing member of staff. He sets up the studio in here with all my lights and my cameras, and it's great, right? But it can be expensive. Now, freelancers and VAs is a great way to be a little bit more cost effective with what it is that we do, right? So to just maximize our pounds and pence spent. Now, freelancers, you're going to find what a freelancer is someone who is like, I guess, self-employed, doing content creation, social media management, and all that kind of stuff. Freelancers generally make their money through volume, so they're probably never going to work with just you. They're going to be working with sometimes 20 or 30 different businesses, and all they do all day is schedule content, organize content. You get freelancers for video editing, you get freelancers for anything, logo design. You get them on places like Upwork and on Fiverr.com. That's where you're going to find your freelancers. I've had experience using freelancers in the past to help me design ads, to help me build websites, to help me create ad creatives, to help me create whiteboard animations, you name it. I've actually spent quite a lot of money on Fiverr over the years. I haven't now because I've obviously got my in-house team, but it helped me a lot back then. It was a lot more cost effective. I tend to find that on platforms where you can find freelancers, you're going to save around about 50% in comparison to using someone in Glasgow, Scotland, or in the UK. The reason being is a lot of the freelancers are people working overseas. So because their cost of living is probably lower, if you're working with someone who is in India or they are in the Philippines or South Africa, you know, the average income in those countries is slightly lower. So for them, if they get paid $200 to go and do something that someone in the UK would maybe charge £1,000 for, that $200 to them is like awesome. They're like, great, I'm getting paid a really good wage. If I can get a couple of those a week and I'm making, you know, $700-800 a week, that's crazy money for them. That's totally awesome. And they're so motivated and they're experts at doing what they do. You've also got the VA side of things, the virtual assistants. Now, on top of my team here, I've got 11 full-time virtual members of staff in the Philippines. So they do all of my copywriting, all of my customer support. So they're phoning people and chatting away to us. They do all of my customer support. They do all of my social media scheduling. They do all of my kind of personal assistant type stuff. They build and design all of my ebooks. They help with my website design, my web copy, my sales copy, my ad copy, all of that stuff, right? Super creative, and also my customer support side of things. So that there, in comparison, if I had those 11 members of staff inside my office in Glasgow, that would add probably £350,000 of salaries per year to my business, plus holiday pay, plus maternity leave if it's required, all these different things. For my staff in the Philippines, those 11 members of staff cost me around about £4,000 per month-ish, right? Some months it can be more if I need more, some months it can be slightly less. But that, in comparison to paying, you know, 35, 40K a month, is absolute buttons. And before you start being racist by accident and start thinking, oh, people in the Philippines, they don't even speak English. The most commonly spoken language in the Philippines is English, right? All of these people have degrees. They're experts at what they do. It's not just random people that come in and we try and get them to do things. Like, these are people who are social media experts, copywriting experts. When I write my own emails, sometimes, which I'll do, I'll just pull an email together quickly, and then I compare it to Lily, who's my main copywriter, who specializes in writing like me. Like, any email you get from me, I'm sorry to tell you, I didn't write it. I didn't write it. I take an email that I've written and an email that Lily has written, and I'm like, the one that she has written sounds more like me than the one I've written. That's because we've worked together for a while now. They're highly skilled at what they do. And I have this big team of people for a fraction of the cost. So that's a big team I have. If you wanted one person to come in and help you with your social media, so one person that was going to help, you know, with a little bit of design, a little bit of uploading, your captions, just so that you don't even need to think about that stuff. You're just focused on the things in your business that generate revenue. Because that's the problem, isn't it? We're spending fucking 20, 25, 30 hours a week making, or you're probably not, which is a worse problem. But if you were following a good content schedule, that's what you'd have to do. So you're replying to comments, making content, creating captions, editing videos. You're having to do all of this stuff. So that's 25, 30 hours a week that you're not closing deals. You're not on sales calls. You're not at meetings. You're not picking new products. You're not speaking with suppliers. You're doing stuff that's not actively revenue generating, so we can give that away to someone else who ultimately 9 times out of 10 is going to be fucking better than us anyway. We aren't. Sometimes it's hard in business to put the ego aside, but we're not always the best at everything we want to do for a business. We might think we know the best, and we might think that we've got a good level of skill. There's better people out there that are not going to be that expensive. So VAs and freelancers, it's a great way to do it. For one person to, you know, help manage your social media, which isn't going to be a full-time role at the start. You might need, you know, 10 hours a week from this person, 10 hours a week at, you know, $10 an hour, $100 a week, man, $400 a month. That VA is probably going to be doing that for, you know, 5, 6 other businesses. They're making $600 a month. It's more than the average wage in their country. You have to work from home, clicking about online, ideal. So there's an opportunity for you to go out there and get those kind of people. What is $400? £350? £350 a month. Yeah, you might not have that just now. Understand that. So don't worry. I'm not saying that you need to go and find this. This is the only way to do it. Just trying to give you an idea that £350 could save a lot of your time. Now, option 3 is my best, my favorite, the one that I think you guys are all here for, and it's utilizing AI systems. Now, having a team like I do in-house, having a team like option 2 virtually that, you know, I use, and also having option 3 makes my business the most efficient, the most optimum, the highest output, highest content quality possible ever. Because I use AI for nearly everything that I do in my business. Sales tracking, content creation, video editing, right? And you're thinking, Richard, if you're using it for content creation, video editing, why do you have those people and all this kind of stuff? Well, all of my staff, I train them on how to use AI. The worst thing you can do is if you have a team, which some of you guys might, but some of you might not, but when you have that team, the worst thing you can do, and I see loads of business owners doing it, is they find out that their staff are using, you know, ChatGPT to help speed up the workflow, and they get pissed off about it. They go, I'm paying you to do that job. Why are you getting some machine to do it for you? When I coach my staff on AI, it means that they're working for video editing, for example, 10x faster, literally 10x faster. So if I want to make 20 short videos, and that would normally take me a week to get that edited, divide that by 10. That is how fast we can put out content. So for every one member of staff that I have, it's like having 2 people. So my 11-person team is like having a 22-person team. My team in the office, multiply that by 2 as well, because all these people, I encourage them to go out there and use AI, because I know that in 10 years' time, and believe me or not here, guys, it's up to you, 10 years' time, there is going to be 2 types of business. There's going to be the businesses using AI, and there's going to be the businesses that fail. It's that simple. This is a non-negotiable. This isn't just this other tech stuff. It's a fad, because this is not a fad. This is currently and will continue to revolutionize the world, especially the world of business. This is the easiest time to become an entrepreneur making 6 figures a year. The easiest time possible. We've got the internet here. That's how we're on this call. It's because we're on the internet. You were able to see me on the internet, jump on the train, and you can get this benefit. You're able to use AI to drastically reduce the time you're spending in your business, right? AI systems are truly the most powerful thing that we can use across the board. I use them for making my own stuff. Like if I'm going and I'm testing a new idea, I want to build a new business, I use AI to build all my logos, all my branding. I can use AI to reply to all of my conversations every day. So if you've found me through one of my ad sequences online and you've had messages from me, by the way, including voice messages, blows your mind, right? And you think you've had a conversation with me, then I must be doing my job right, because that was all AI. It was not me, right? This is the power of the systems that we have there. Messaging, sales tracking, content creation, all this kind of stuff. We need to embrace this stuff for ourselves and our team. The exciting thing is for you guys is that if you're like, yeah, Richard, don't have the time to hire in-house staff, the hiring a VA, I don't know where to look for them. I'm scared about managing them. I don't have, a spare few £100 a month just to, throw into this stuff. All good. I totally understand. But what you do have is the ability to learn and apply AI systems that if I had, when I was spending all day of a Monday and part of a Tuesday, that's what I used to do back in 2019 when I really started pushing my property business in a big way online. 2019, I would spend all day Monday and part of Tuesday making my content. Now, I know that nobody in here is doing this because, to be honest, nobody was putting out the same amount of content that I probably was then. But you want to be able to put out that amount of content without that sacrifice, right? I was doing YouTube videos, editing my own videos, editing my audio, making all my Instagram posts, making all my LinkedIn posts, making all my Facebook posts for the week, planning out my stories, where I was going to be, what I wanted to post, replying to people. Like all of this stuff was tough, right? It was hard. If I'd had AI back then, those 20 hours across those 2 days, I could have probably done in 2 hours, right? Even if you are really terrible online and you're a real technophobe, in that case, it would have taken you a lot more than 20, 30 hours to make that content. This is going to reduce your content creation time by 90, 95% in most cases. That is how powerful this stuff is, right? The problem is, though, is that loads of us, if you've used AI, some of you might have, some of you might not, so it's fine, don't worry. I'm going to be giving you some stuff to go away and play with and start to get to grips with it slightly. It's machine learning. It's not a machine psychic, right? So when I say machine learning, well, that's what AI is. It's this massive, super intelligent system that learns and retains all the information that it gets. But all of us tend to approach it at the start as if it's psychic, as if it's like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking psychic. I can read your fucking mind. I'll be able to produce all this content for you. And it's kind of stupidity from us. I want to go into the AI stuff in a lot more detail today. But before I do that, there's something that I want to talk to you about. So remember that we've got this bonus coming up at the end. So I don't want you guys to disappear. This is only going to take probably less than 5 minutes, to be honest. Let me get my screen share back on for you. Screen share, portion of screen. Down here, move this out the way. Didn't mean to click stop share, so it's hopefully still there. You guys should be able to see this not too bad. I'm just going to give you some details on something that's coming up very soon. Now, remember what I said. It's a no sales webinar. Was that just a sales tactic? Was that me just saying that to get you guys in here so that I could sell you something? Who knows? You'll need to wait the next 5 minutes whilst I go through this stuff to find out. So I want to talk to you about my digital development bootcamp. Bear in mind, I've still got an hour or so of content after this, so this isn't the end of the webinar. So don't freak out. It's a 2-day live event, our bootcamp. We go through how to master AI for content creation. We go through email marketing 101. And we also show you how to, I've also spelled ultimate wrong there, which is really impressive. I'm going to edit that whilst I'm on this because that's embarrassing, right? How to create your best ever offer and create your ultimate client pathway. I'm going to explain what I mean by each of these. So the AI for content creation, everybody didn't think that AI tools were going to come for the creative industries first, and they did. And they came fucking hard as fuck. I am going to show you guys how you can create all your content, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, all of these places, how you can take your content, create it in less than 90 minutes every single week. And it's going to cost you pretty much nothing. Email marketing, people approach this wrong. They think email marketing is old hat. They think it's about sending someone an update every quarter. Oh, here's what we've been up to. Hate to tell you, nobody cares, right? Email marketing is making such a resurgence just now. All my email marketing is completely automated. That's what we coach inside of this program. I don't write the emails. I don't schedule the emails. I don't click send on the emails. Everything is 100% AI automated. And through my mailing list, I generate around about £15,000 to £25,000 per month of free money. So it's not a huge amount of money. It keeps the lights on in comparison to, the size of our business and what we're doing just now. It's a nice little extra thing. But imagine being able to just generate free money from emails being sent out there to your clients, your prospective customers, the people that we get onto our mailing lists. I'm going to show you how to build your mailing list as well, how to get people on there, how to get people motivated to join it. Imagine generating free money. And when I say free money, I'm talking about we're never on a sales call with them. We never speak to them. We never get any questions. The emails coach them on what to do. They go and they actually buy our products. They invest in our training. They go and, buy an ebook, buy all this stuff here that we can apply to any type of business. It's free money. I also want to show you guys how to create your best ever offer and create your ultimate client pathway. The more time you spend allowing people to make up their own mind on your social media, they land there, you're not telling them what to do, you're not giving them engaging content, your offer is really poor, that is where you lose people, right? It's the worst way that people do this on social media. The content's really poor. They have the offer down. Your avatar's wrong. This is how we end up not making money on social media. And we've got live Q&A sessions in there as well. Today, I'm probably going to get a few questions in this when we go to the end. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to answer all of them. In here, we have dedicated time to go through every single person's individual questions to make sure they get the most value possible from the training. Now, there's some bonuses as well. You're going to get access to my full social media mastery programs. It's an in-depth online course that's covering growth hacks and strategies for Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn. I'm going to give you lifetime access to this program. So it's not like, oh, you've got a week to go through it, whether you can use this for life as much as you want. It's going to be there forever. You also get access to my AI optimization program. So it's my full online program outlining 10 of the best AI tools for entrepreneurs and how to apply them for the best results possible. You're going to get lifetime access to that as well. The bootcamp school access, you guys are probably getting used to using school now. We've got our digital development bootcamp group on school as well. So that's just a community of all of the current and future bootcamp attendees where you can ask questions, you can network, you can access all your courses, and you can access your bootcamp through the calendar as well. We've also got our ultimate ChatGPT guide. So this is a guide that I built. So the ChatGPT guide focused on increasing the benefits of the world's most popular text-based AI system through advanced prompting techniques. You're going to be sitting going, Richard, what the fuck is that? You're going to understand a little bit more by the time we get to the end of our training today. And I'm going to break down what this program costs. Our live 2-day online bootcamp is £1,497 plus the VAT. The social media mastery online program is £497 plus the VAT. AI optimization is also £497 plus the VAT. The bootcamp school access is £897 plus the VAT. And our ultimate ChatGPT guide is £297 plus the VAT. And the total is £3,685 plus VAT. The really good thing about that is if you apply a quarter of what you've shown at this, £3,685 plus VAT is going to be paid back to you very quickly. So I want to make you guys an offer today. This is today's price only. It's not for sale. I told you it's not a fucking sales webinar. So if you've left and you've disappeared, good riddance. You didn't trust me, right? It's not for sale. This is not a sales webinar. I'm here on this webinar to give you guys 100% value. It's not the end of the webinar. We've still got, let me see how many slides we've still got to go through. Oh, fucking hell. I better get a move on. We've got quite a lot. We're going to be here till dinner time. It's not for sale. This is one of our boot camps we put together. Maybe in the future, it's something that we'll do together. We just had one on Thursday and Friday there. It was absolutely awesome. We've got one coming up a week tomorrow as well. We do this live online through Zoom. We spend 2 full days together. It's a fucking great program with great results off the back of it as well. But it's not for sale today, guys. Sorry. I told you it was no sales on this webinar. I'm not here to bullshit you and bring you in and fucking say it's not a sales webinar, but do you want to buy this ebook? Do you want to buy this? You want to buy this program? I'm here to give you as much value as possible and have some fun doing it. So it's just an understanding of some of the stuff we offer now with Growth Getters. You know, a lot of people, you're maybe not up to date on what we're doing at Growth Getters. It's all about digitization, automation, social media monetization. That is our key focus there. So it just gives you an idea of one of the different programs inside of our Growth Getters community that you can potentially get access to in the future. Just not today. Today is all about value. I know I had some use on strings there. I know I did, right? Or at least I'll convince myself that I did, because it will make me think I'm really trendy and funny and cool. Right, let me put my screens back together so I can see everyone. Okay, not just see everyone, so I can see myself and see the participants, and I can still see my slides as well. Be honest, who did I have there? Who did I have on strings? Be honest, who was sitting thinking, oh shit, what's the offer going to be like? I really need this program. It'll be really good. Maybe, who knows? I probably could have got a couple of you guys registered on that, but not today. Today's webinar is all about value. So I just want to talk about the mistake of the 99% quickly. This is a crossroads for nearly all business owners. Most of us go through this, right? And to be honest, it's accidental ignorance. It does not make you a bad person. You just think you're doing what you need to do for your business, and you think you're doing enough. 9 times out of 10, as business owners, we're not doing enough. We're not producing enough. We're not calling enough. We're not setting up enough meetings. Like we think we're doing a lot, but we could be a lot more efficient with our time. We're being busy fools sometimes. I say that with respect because I have been that busy fool. So the mistake of the 99% is that so many of us assume that our clients are mind readers, right? You think the clients mind readers. I talk to business owners all the time, like, what is it you do and how do you approach the clients? And they're like, oh, our clients know us. They know what we do. Like, they know where we are. This is the worst mistake, the most fatal mistake business owners make, taking their brands, whether it be personal or a business brand, online onto social media. You provide the absolute bare minimum and you expect your client to do the rest of the work. So what do I actually mean by that? Let's look at an example. I've written down specific examples here to try and make this make sense for you guys. So let's say that I own a business called XYZ Garage Services, right? XYZ Garage Services. You go onto Instagram and you see there's photos of engine bays and different cars and stuff inside of their premises. There's basic faceless content, so you don't quite know who runs the business, but there's just photos of different cars and getting work done to them. There's a shit bio. The bio is, we're XYZ Garage Services. We are a general mechanic services business based in Glasgow. Mobile number on it. Okay. There's no direction whatsoever in that bio. It's not telling you to check out the website. It's not telling you to watch our stories. It's not telling you to click the highlights for information on what we do. There's no direction there. It's just a little bit of information and, a mobile phone number. In that situation, looking at that profile, and I get this all the time, people coming up to me at events or people coming up to me when I bump into people, out in the street, or if I'm socially in a group of people, and they'll say to me, oh, Richard, I'm taking my business online. I know you've made some money online and stuff like that. Here's my business profile. What does it look like? Also, I might have done this to some of you guys in here, depending. I get sent a message off someone, maybe on Instagram. Hey, Richard, I want to come on your next training. Just wondering when it is. If it's a business profile, I always just click on it quickly to have a look and see what it's like. And I see this all the time. This exact thing that I've just played out there on pretty much everyone's social media. Now, you've only given your customer 2 ways of communication, and not all form of communication is equal. Some forms of communication are very, low commitment. It could be as simple as, clicking a poll to express an interest in something on Instagram, for example, or on LinkedIn, is far less commitment than asking someone to message you. They have to type out the message. It's a lot more personal than just clicking, yes, I'm interested, on a poll. So what do you think is going to get them more interaction? Well, it's going to be the poll as opposed to the message. So this is the problem these businesses make. They've put 2 methods of communication on that profile. You can DM the person like you can on any single fucking platform. You can direct message them, or you can phone their mobile. Those are 2 very high commitment forms of communication. Now, let's pretend that these people had a really good social media presence and it was really detailed, but still only those 2 methods of communication. It would still be hard. When was the last time any of you guys in here were watching someone's content or looking at the content online and all they had was a mobile number and you thought to yourself, oh, I really like that person's business. Hi, it's Richard here. Just wondering if you want to take my money just now. I've really liked your content, so that's why I'm phoning you. Guys, come on, fuck off. Like, no one does that anymore. It's just not something that happens. Yeah, you might get the odd DM and stuff, but you're putting all this pressure on your clients or your potential clients to come and do this. Now, let's think about XYZ Garage Services for a second there. I was telling you about how the profile looked, photos of engine bays and different things, right? And it's every post is just, a couple of hashtags, garage, mechanic, no captions. You don't know who runs the business. So if I go on there, they know, as in the person that runs the business, they know what they do. Oh yeah, our clients know us. They know what we do. They know where we are. Me as a customer, randomly going on there, I'm going to think to myself, okay, do they do servicing? Do they do MOTs? Do they do tuning? Will they map my car? Will they put a performance exhaust on it? Will they fix bodywork? Will they paint my car? Do they do customization? Will they wrap it? Will they tint my windows? Will they fit tyres for me? Will they repair a cracked alloy? Will they powder coat my alloys? You know, do they only work with certain cars? Are they German specialists? Are they Volkswagen Audi Group specialists? Are they Japanese car specialists? Are they British car specialists? I'm not even done. There's like pages of questions there. And when I say this to business owners, you know, are you this? They go, oh, well, yeah, of course we can do body work. Of course we can do MOTs. Of course we can do servicing. Of course we can tune a car. It's maybe of course to fucking you. It's of course to us guys here, the business owners that built the product, that built the service, that run the fucking thing. I had to ask you the question. It's not of course to your customers. So when someone goes on your business profile and you're a fucking garage owner or you're a PT or you're whatever, and you're not telling them the type of people you work with, the type of vehicles you work with, the type of situations that you are best in, your specialism, what do you expect? Okay, you expect your client to go like this. Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm reading their mind. Okay, this is what they do. That's what they do. Great. Now that I have put all the effort in to finding out what that person does, or maybe they direct message you. Hey, mate, I was just having a wee look in your profile. I'm not quite sure. I've got a Golf R. Will you work on a Golf R? I'm not sure if you work on German cars. Oh, yeah, mate, of course we're going to work on a Golf R. You have missed out on so many other customers. Because that person that chose to make that message, there was 20, 30, 50, 100 that never chose to comment that never chose to message you that. They've seen someone else who's doing exactly what I'm talking about. They've seen someone else who's willing to actually put a little bit of effort in and tell the customers what it is they do. And they just went, oh, right, okay, well, I've got this. I've got XYZ garage services here that have given me fuck all. So I can take the effort to message them, to ask them what type of cars they do, to ask them where they're based, to ask them how I can get booked in. Okay, this one is less trust because I don't know anything about them. I don't know their face. I don't know who they are. And I've got this one here that is saying, we are ZYX Garage Services. We are a Volkswagen Audi Group specialist tuner based in Hillington in Glasgow. And we specialise in creating performance vehicles that are made by Volkswagen, Audi, and any other German brand. Oh, shit. So I've got a Golf R. By the way, I don't have a Golf R, just in case anyone's wondering. I've got a Golf R. I want it to be much faster. Am I going to take it to these guys or those guys? I'm definitely going to take it to the people who have given me the more information and show me they're specialists. If you were looking for someone to do a rewire or to fit a new bathroom or to do flooring in your house, right? And you were looking online for that kind of business, and that business never had the owner or any of the employees' faces on it, how comfortable would you feel out of 10 welcoming them into your home? Me personally, I like to know who's coming in my house. I like to know what you look like, not because I'm going to judge you or whatever, just so I know who I'm answering the door to, right? And I can have an understanding, and I'm not sitting thinking, who the fuck is going to turn up to my house just now? So when I go on a business profile and there's not even a photo, I mean, I kind of hate meet the team sections anyway, but some people still use them. If there's not even something as simple as a meet the team section, they don't know who they're booking, what you look like, you're not giving them any information. How are you expecting your customers to have motivation to start an interaction with you that's going to lead to sales engagement? You are turning away 95% of your prospective customers. The exciting thing is that if you've built a business that you're doing a little bit of money in, and you are the person that I've just explained, you're only a few tweaks away from drastically increasing the amount of money you make in your business. But also, I need you to just give your head a shake a little bit, because you're expecting your clients to do all the work. Your client is to message you and find out exactly what it is you do and where you do it and how you do it and how much it costs and how they book, when you could just provide that on your social media and stop turning people away. If you think it's obvious, it might not be that obvious. So when you think it's obvious that, oh, I'm a mechanic and I do this and this is what I do, and of course I do that, it's not that obvious to everyone else. Maybe obvious to other mechanics, but if your customers are other mechanics, they're probably not needing you. They'll probably do their own work, right? It goes back to saying that I love, you confuse them, you lose them, right? The more thought that your clients need to put into something, the worse your results are going to be. Think of it this way, right? Imagine I was sending you to a location you'd never been before in your life, a city or a town, and you were driving there. And I said, okay, you've got two options. You can either use Apple Maps, Google Maps, sat-nav in your car to get there, or you can use just the signs on the road. And whoever gets there first wins. Who do you think is going to win? Same car, same driving skill, same amount of passengers, whatever. Who is going to get there faster? Somewhere you've never went before. It's obviously going to be the person with a map. And the funny thing is, I've actually been kind to a lot of the business owners that I'm targeting here. That might be you. Only you know that. Because I'm talking about, or they just use the signs on the motorway. You've not even put the fucking signs on the motorway. You've hardly even got a road. You're trying to get them to drive up Ben Nevis in a fucking Renault Clio and hope that once they get to the top, they're going to also choose, after doing all that hard work to do business with you, they're going to give you money. Like, it's absolutely nuts. You're expecting your clients to work hard to do business with you. Is anyone in here not understanding, like, how backwards that is? It's such a mad approach. Really, it's crazy. And here's the worth. I just gave myself a lisp. I'm recording this training for our archives, so that might make a good, what's it called? Reel on my Instagram. I'm a worth. Jeez, I'm a word of mouth business. This is something I hear so often. Richard, I don't need social media. I don't need online stuff. I don't need ads. I don't need to market. I'm a word of mouth business. There are so few multi-million-pound word of mouth businesses that I have met that have good profitability. I hardly know any. Now, you might not be at a stage where you're trying to aim right now for $1 million plus, but if you're a business owner in this call, you want to get to $1 million plus at some point, whether it's this year, next year, 5 years, you want to get to $1 million plus. Being a word of mouth business and relying on word of mouth, in my opinion, is one of the single most terrifying things for a business owner. Like, being totally honest, it scares the absolute shit out of me, even thinking about that. It truly terrifies me. How, if you're a word of mouth business, are you ever meant to have the confidence to go out and hire staff, to invest in different things when you don't actually know where your next meal is coming from? Yeah, through your word of mouth, you might be able to win a 6-month contract, but it's a 6-month contract. You've got no way of understanding and keeping a handle of what is coming into your business. And with everyone that has a word of mouth business, I watched this with my dad, by the way, firsthand. With everyone that has a word of mouth business, you've got 2 times in your business. You're either so fucking busy that you're doing 14, 16-hour days, invoicing at night, working during the day like an absolute madman, or you're dead. That's the 2 things. And the problem is that when you're super busy, such an itchy nose, when you're super busy, because it's a word of mouth business and you don't know how long you're going to be busy for, because you're hoping that people just keep phoning you, because it's not like they're phoning you because you've got good ads or good content or good social media or you're online or you're putting out fucking good shit on your website that sends people to you, that lets you have an actual pipeline of clients so that you can look and go, okay, I can understand that we should generate 100K next month, 110K the next month. We generated 90 this month. So you can start investing with confidence, hiring staff with confidence, buy the fucking Lambo with confidence, buy the Rolex with confidence, buy the new house with confidence. You've got no confidence. You're constantly in a state of fear and hunger. You're shitting yourself because you don't know where your next job's going to be. So when you're in that super busy, super fucking packed out time of your life, you don't feel like you have the confidence to go and hire someone. Because if you go and hire them, imagine you've only got 3 months work for them, then you have to pay them off. Or then you have to go and use subcontractors that are much more expensive because they just come in for a certain period of time. It's not a good way to have your business, right? And see, when people say this, think about how people follow this pathway these days, right? And it's not how the word of mouth people assume that it goes. And I guarantee we've got multiple word of mouth people inside of this training, and that's cool. You are where you are just now. I'm just trying to help re-educate you, right? That's what I'm trying to do just now. And whilst I'm doing that, I'm also going to eat a squares bar because I need to go to the gym later on. And this is going to be my calories. But imagine you've got someone who has been referred your business. So a previous customer of yours, their friend has said, oh, I really need someone to come and fit a kitchen for me. You fitted a great kitchen for the other person. So they go, oh, I know just the guy. Davy Smith Joinery. I made that up, by the way. He's really, really good. I use him to fit my kitchen. You've seen my kitchen. Here's his phone number. So there you go. The word of mouth is at play. I'm going to explain to you in a second why that's a problem. Well, all this talking, how hot it is in here, made me starving. So to keep performing at a high level for the rest of the training, I need to finish this. So that previous customer of yours has referred your business to someone else, and you guys for some reason think this is what happens. Okay, that sounds amazing. Davy Smith joining. Yeah, no problem. What's Davy's number? Okay. 2 seconds, I'm phoning Davy. Hi, Davy. Sharon just gave me your number. I'm wondering if you can come and fit my kitchen. That's not what happens. What do you think they do at first? Oh, Davy Smith Joinery, no problem. I'll take a look. Ah, take a look. Okay. Where are you taking a look? In the yellow pages? In the local newspaper? For a business card on the counter of your local chippy? No. They're going like this. Google.com. Davy Smith Joinery, Glasgow. Okay, no website. No Google reviews. Okay. No Trustpilot. No Facebook page. No Facebook reviews then. No Instagram page. No forums. No nothing. Oh, okay. Davy Smith Joinery. Not quite sure. I've only seen my pal's previous kitchen. There's no reviews there. Don't know who he is, what he looks like. I'll just have a wee look and see if there's anyone else as well. These people that you, by the way, you only use a word of mouth business as a cop out. Nobody actually believes that they're going to build like a really successful big business through word of mouth. It's me just being honest. Use it as a cop out to justify being a lazy bastard and not making your social media accounts, not building content, not being online. You just use it to be lazy. Well, I'm a word of mouth business and I just turn up and I do the job and that's me up the road. Okay. This is how people nowadays, this is the way the world is going, and it's only going to get worse when they're referred to someone. You go on and Google. You Google them, you check them out. Are they on social media? Are they here? If you have that situation, so one person recommends Davy Smith Joinery. Another friend refers a completely different joinery company. You look up Davy Smith's, no Facebook, no Instagram, no online, no website, no reviews, nothing. Even if the other joinery company has a shite website, shitey website, stock images everywhere, just crap. They've got social media with not enough posts, and it's like what we're talking about with XYZ garage services. Like they will still win over the person that has nothing. They will still win. But we want to be the optimum, obviously. We want to beat everyone. But even if you just have a shite website, shite fucking Instagram, shite Facebook, you're going to beat all the word of mouth businesses. It's very rare. You know, the only type of business that you can be in where word of mouth really, really matters. And sometimes you do get that situation where you get a phone call straight away. Lawyers. If you're phoning a friend for a lawyer, you're not phoning them for a laugh, right? You're phoning them because you need a lawyer. So if you get a recommendation, you're going to phone and see if they can take you on. Unless we've got a legal business in here, let me see if there's anyone. I've got a couple of friends with legal businesses just in case they've joined. No, not that I can see. That's okay. But for 99% of us, that is not going to be the case. All right. So we need to make sure that we're not falling into this word of mouth business trap. It's with restaurants and everything. We all check reviews. We all go online to see what they're like, star rating, content, photos of what they do. Do they leave a good job? Do they provide a good service? We all head online first. We're all guilty of it. Let's be honest. Nobody uses yellow pages and all that anymore. It's dead, right? I want you to think about something, because for those of you that are making content just now, maybe you're about to, after this training, you're going to start producing a bit of content in a bigger way. A lot of us do it inefficiently by accident, right? It doesn't matter how valuable or how informed or how long or how high quality sometimes your content is. The one thing that matters to you guys right now, if you're looking to get more engagement, more followers, more clicks, and more revenue, is you need to understand that the first 3 seconds always wins. The first 3 seconds always wins. So what do I mean by that? The first 3 seconds of reading your content, the first 3 seconds of the video, that is what is going to win the game. So many of us, I done this exact thing. I started on YouTube years ago. My first ever video was 26 minutes long. My first video on YouTube was 26 minutes long. Who was I to think that I had the respect of viewers? They would go onto a new platform where I've not showed them any value, where I've not produced any other content, and they would sit down and give me 25 minutes, 26 minutes of their time. That's crazy. Only people who maybe knew me in real life would go and do that. It was a really bad move doing that. I should have been just in shorter content that's more impactful. Now we strip it back even further and we talk about the first 3 seconds, especially when I'm talking about Instagram Reels. The first 3 seconds of every engagement wins. And by the way, I believe this because it was taught to me by one of the best, most viral content creators online, Nico Leonard, the Watch YouTuber. He taught me this. He was like, Richard, we sat down and he was like, this is what you're doing wrong. This is what you need to change. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this. And it's changed everything, especially my promotional content and my ads as well. So see, when you go on a reel, people are only going to watch the first 2 or 3 seconds. That is what determines whether they're going to stick around for the rest. Or they're going to read the first sentence is going to determine whether they're going to stick around for the rest. Now, my problem when I used to make reels and short videos was that I would always introduce myself. People know it's me. It's on my social media. It says Richard Greg Dixon. Even if it's an ad, it'll say Richard Dixon, or it'll say Yes Academy. Like, it'll say Growth Getters. They can see who we are. So I was saying, think about this in terms of 1, 2, 3. I'd be like, hey guys, it's Richard Dixon here. Hope you'll have... They're gone. All I've done is say my name and got halfway through telling them that I hope they're having a nice day, right? I can do that at the end. I can do that during the first 3 seconds is what really matters. Now, when I was running this Scottish Financial Freedom Summit, which I know quite a few of you guys that are probably in here attended, it was one of the biggest business events in Scotland for many years. And it was also a big investment. It cost me personally 300 grand to put that event on, right? Which when I think about it is still pretty crazy for one event. And that's not stuff you can go to the bank and say, hey, you want to help us finance this event? This is like cold, hard capital, your own money, right? Now, I was running some ads for the Scottish Financial Freedom Summit and I let my creative team go and do their thing. And at the start of one of the ads, they'd done this crazy, it was really cool, this motion graphic logo that all twisted together and then built into Financial Freedom Summit. And then the ad would start. And I was running that ad on YouTube. Now, a lot of you will know on YouTube, you've got skippable ads, skippable in-stream ads, and you get 6 seconds on YouTube before they're able to click. Now, by the time that thing had finished, there was less than 1 second left. So all people were seeing was an animation of Financial Freedom Summit, which meant nothing to them. They didn't know what it meant. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know who was running it. And they would just click skip. And I was looking at all my other ads and I was like, okay, that one's doing okay. This one's doing okay. That one's doing okay. And then I was like, this one is the best ad, in my opinion, is getting the most traffic. We're putting the most money behind it, but it's literally making nothing. Why is that? And it was so obvious that I couldn't see it at first. I'm looking and going, okay, why is that happening? Why is that happening? How do I click this? How do I do that? I couldn't get a grip on it. And then I realized, I went, oh shit. It's the fucking first 6 seconds. We clipped that out. We put it at the end. If people stayed around, they want to see a cool twisty logo. Awesome, right? But we took that away and it went straight into me talking. No introduction, straight away giving them value on why they should stick around and watch the video. And overnight, that became our highest performing ad. So for short form video on LinkedIn, on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, on Instagram Reels, what I like to do and what I think gives you the biggest benefit, and also if you're not using those platforms, or you're using those platforms, but you also want to make actual YouTube videos, you want to make actual long videos, 4 minutes, 5 minutes max, until you have a couple of thousand subscribers and some more consistent views or traffic from another social media platform that you can really drive there. That would be my recommendation, to keep it short. But for our actual Reels and Shorts and our TikToks, in my opinion, the best thing you can do to have people stick around is to start by telling them what they're going to receive by sticking around. So instead of giving it, hey, it's Richard here, or hey, it's such and such, or are you someone looking for, no. What we do at the very start is we give them what they're going to receive by sticking around. If you're an entrepreneur looking for 3 of the best AI systems going to change your business forever, watch the rest of this video. Boom. If you're someone struggling with body image just now, you're looking to lose weight, I'm going to show you one of my best ever hacks for fat loss. Watch this video. Like, you're telling them at the start, before they even have been to the end, exactly what to expect before they get to the end of the video. So imagine you didn't do this. They're taking a gamble on watching it. Like, why do we go to the cinema to watch a film? Because we like the trailer. We like the different trailers. So imagine we turn up at the cinema and there's screen 1, screen 2, screen 3, screen 4, screen 5. No description of what's on each screen. You say to the guy, hey, mate, we're in here to see a movie, but I can't see anything up there. Oh, yeah, cool. What? Just pick one and go. Right, well, I would like to see like a horror movie. Which one is showing a horror movie? Oh, I don't know. We don't get to see. I'm just expecting that you want to pay us money and go in and spend a long duration of your time watching that thing where you don't know if you're going to get any benefit at the end or you're even going to enjoy it. How many tickets would you like? Doesn't sound very good. So because they've seen the trailer and they know what to expect, to go and give that commitment of watching the rest of the movie. And that is exactly what we're doing here with this first 3 seconds. We're telling them what they're going to get at the end of that video. This also goes on with the first 3 seconds of your written posts. One thing that I always recommend people to do is that don't write big paragraphs. If you're doing a written post on LinkedIn, for example, or on Facebook, and you write one big paragraph, just cognitively, when you look at it, humans just go, whoa, that's massive. Like, I'm not going to read that. All you need to do is just break that same post into loads of little sentences. And they're just going, oh, sentence, oh, sentence. The analogy that I use for this, for any of you guys in here that have watched Family Guy before, is the, oh, piece of candy with Stewie, right? I don't know if you remember this. If you don't, I'm going to sound like such a weirdo. But that is the kind of analogy, just a little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. And it's almost like they're just taking little tiny pieces, little tiny pieces, little tiny pieces. And before they know it, they've consumed the whole thing. So it's all about breaking down and you know, making our content a bit more, not just attractive to look at, but a better value exchange for the person actually spending their time reading it and spending their time potentially watching it. If you want to give that person an offer or some guidance or send them somewhere, then that's what you need to do. And we direct people with calls to action, CTAs, right? So call to action is you calling to your audience and telling them to take a specific action. And when we do these, we need to do them with as little clicks as possible, like as few clicks as possible. And the reason I say that, I'll give you a great example. Now, I could post something on my story on Instagram. Now, that story could be, hey guys, like for this, hey guys, I'm running a free training this week. If you want to jump on it, click down below and I might get 1,000 clicks or 500 clicks, 2,000 clicks, however many I get on that day. Let's just refer to that as 100% just now, just for talking's sake. I split tested this, and instead of posting it in my story, what I'd done was I put the link in my bio. So I would go on the story and I would say, guys, I'm running this free training this week. What to do is head to the link in my bio, click the link and register. So there is 1 click difference between those 2 things. Option number 1, they click it in my story straight away and they go. Option number 2, they click my name and then they click the link in my bio and they go. 1 click of difference. How much of a difference do you guys think it made to my overall number of clicks? It made an 86% drop. So if I was getting 1,000 clicks in my story, send them to my bio, I would get like 140 clicks. Like, that's colossal. That's a business killer, right? So people have these call to actions like, guys, we've got this amazing discount on this week. What to do is search www.richarddixon.com, click on special offers, and from there you can pick your special offer. Make sure then to write in the code blah, blah, blah for your discount or for free shipping. Oh my goodness. The amount of steps, hoops, hurdles, like for people to jump over is just absolutely mental. It's no way to produce your content by doing that. producing your content like that is just it's gonna create so much more drop off. So the least amount of steps you can put into a call to action, hey guys, click down below, hey guys, click here, hey guys, do this, do that. That is the easiest way for you to start actually concluding more sales online. Because if you are expecting people to jump through a million hoops, this is just another version of what I said earlier, expecting your customers to do the work for you, expecting them to go out and put in all the hard work. You need to just remember that social media is an exchange of value. So you need to gain rapport. The reason I say this is what I don't want you to go away and do is start pitching 24/7. Like that's what I don't want. I don't want you to be on your story every day. Hi, if you want to invest your money in this, or if you want to lose weight, if you want to do this 5 times a day and 3 posts a week, just offering your services. You cannot allow your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn to become a pitch fest. It is the most boring fucking thing ever, and no one's going to want to engage with you. It's an exchange of value. If you look at my main page on Instagram, I think the last time I made an actual call to action on my main page was like the 7th of July or something. Like, I'm giving people value, entertainment, stuff they enjoy, even my stories. Maybe every 20 stories, I'll make a call to action. So people are getting value, they want to follow me, they're engaged, right? So that they'll follow me, they're going along with it, they're enjoying all the stuff that I put out there, so that when I make them an offer to come and join a training, or I make them an offer to come here to our headquarters and enjoy an event, that means something to them because they've enjoyed my content, they've enjoyed consuming it and learning some stuff. Maybe they'll put some stuff into action as well. So if you go on your social media and you just pitch all day, give me one good reason why someone would follow you. No one is going to follow you. Let's just be honest, they're not, right? So you need to make sure that you're producing a diverse array of content. And your marketing message throughout your social media needs to be based on one main factor. This is key for all businesses. And the factor is pain, right? We're not talking about physical pain, although if you're a physio or something, it might be. But everyone who is going to eventually buy your product or your service or whatever it is that you do, they're buying that through a certain degree of pain. For example, when I was doing a lot more property stuff, I was really popular working with guys who were offshore. So I had a lot of offshore clients because their main pain points were, they're away from home, however many months of the year, they miss kids' birthdays, school plays, first days at nursery, anniversaries. Like, that's a lot of pain there. If I'm putting out there in my marketing message, someone else could be like, oh, do you want to invest in property to get some money back? And you can, spend it on whatever you want. Okay, that sounds like a good offer. When they seen an ad from me and I was deliberately targeting these kind of people, like, are you an offshore worker sick and tired of spending 3 to 4 months of your life out on a platform? You're unable to spend the time you want with your family. You feel like you're not seeing your kids. You don't get to be around for all the important moments in their life. And you're trying to find a way to actually come back on shore without dropping any of that amazing income that you've grown to love and enjoy. Well, if that's you, what I want you to do is click down below, fill out a form for me. My name's Richard Dixon. I specialize in making you offshore no more. That was the type of stuff, right? Now, those two ads are totally different because mine, I'm like hurting them a little bit by saying, hey, here's the things you are wanting. This is why you want to do this stuff. So here's why I am the expert. Same as if I was a fitness coach. Hey guys, if you're wanting to lose weight, I'm a specialist weight loss coach. Drop me a DM and let's get to work. Okay, I know what you do now. That's interesting, but you've not motivated me or encouraged me or shown me the reality of my situation. So I won't make that choice to go and do that, right? If I was like, hey, if you are a woman over 40, sick and tired of looking in the mirror, being unhappy with your body image, you don't want to wear those nice dresses you used to wear, and you're scared that it's maybe going to affect your life inside of your marriage and in the bedroom, stuff like that is a really hard-hitting thing because people are going to think, oh shit, I do think like that. I do look in the mirror and I don't think I look good. And I'm worried that my husband might stop fancying me. And I do stop wearing dresses that I used to wear. And it's almost like it's so easy because they're common objections or common issues, but these people, it's as if you're psychic, right? So when you're building your offers, this is what it's all about, is using a little bit of pain, right? So even if you're a drop shipping store, one of the biggest pains that I've had in anything I've ever bought from, a drop shipping store is fucking delays. Products from China, man. 7 days, 10 days. So you could build the whole cool thing of your store around, you can do 24-hour landed delivery anywhere in the UK, or anywhere in Europe, stuff like that. So you need to think about the pain that your clients go through. What is their biggest hurdles? What is their biggest problems? And you build your whole market message around them. I'll give you an example of me purchasing through pain. Only a couple of weeks ago, I travel a lot, so I fly a lot, and I suffer really badly in life in general with boredom. I really need to be busy all the time. I need to be doing stuff. I need to be creating. I need to be mentally stimulated, right? And flying got really boring because I can do upwards of 200 hours a year flying, right? It sounds mad, but it's easy when you're doing big long trips back and forth to America 3, 4, 5 times a year, sometimes Japan, all these places. You get bored. You get the flight movies. I watch the same ones all the time. You get the in-flight games, they're shit. Start to download apps on my phone, need Wi-Fi on the plane, shit. So I got an ad for this thing, and the ad was, here's your all-in-one travel gaming solution. It was a little toy called a Mystic. Got 15,000 games on it. It's absolutely unreal. You can play it with no Wi-Fi, 8 hours battery life. It's got triggers on it, everything, a little handheld thing, earphone jack. They basically said all my problems in the ad. Oh, you sick of needing Wi-Fi and this and that and the next thing? And I was like, that's going to save my life on flights. I went straight away on the website and purchased it. Now, that's not an example of chronic pain. And if you have a business where you can have, a chronic pain driver, it's a license to print money, to be totally honest, if you're approaching it the right way in your marketing. But that there is just I was so bored out my fucking skull all the time. And this was my solution, to not be sitting there oh my God, trying to find different ways to do it. This gave me my solution, So don't be one of those people giving that, hey, I do this thing, click down below, boring offer. Be someone who, shows someone the reality of the situation, because ultimately that's going to lead them to take more action with you. It's going to make you more money. It's going to allow you to, create more great results with the service of the product that it is that you sell. So now we're going into our little word planning section. This is a couple of steps that I want you to follow at minimum. Well, I say at minimum, I want you to follow this in perpetuity. I want you to do this stuff forever, right? But this is your next 2 weeks foundations. If you can't do this bit, I don't know why you've came on this webinar. Ultimately, you've let yourself down if you don't go and do this bit. It's not super difficult. I'm not asking you to do something crazy. It's not going to be anywhere near as hard as you might think. But it's non-negotiable, this stuff, right? I really want you guys to go out and apply this, because I want you to get some results. If you apply this, the outlook of your business is going to be very different by the time we're starting 2024. You're in a position where you're a lot stronger digitally. Your brand is a lot better known. You understand your customers more. It's far easier to sell something you've never seen before. If I gave you a random box and said, sell the thing that's inside this box, it's so much easier to sell that to someone that you really, really know than it is to sell a product that you really know to someone that you've got no idea about. So at the end of this year, if you're going to apply this stuff, you're going to know your audience better, your conversions are going to be higher, your interaction rate is going to be higher, your motivation is going to be higher. You'll be going into 2024 in a position where you can build something really great, to be totally honest. So step number 1, and some of these might be super simple. I'm just catering for every single person who's in this training. Some of you might have struggled to even log into this, and some of you might be really good with tech. So if some of these steps are a little bit simple for you, just wait till the next one. So I want you guys to go and secure all your social media handles on every single platform: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Go and secure your social media handles. That's just your usernames, right? I've got so many different usernames, some of which I've had to pay thousands for. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you guys, but just go out and get everything. Get it all sorted on every platform, any business that you have. You don't want to be at a point where someone else has that thing. My idea of hell happened to my business partner. He decided not to buy the website that had his name, and eventually by the time he got around to buy it, someone else had bought it and put it up for £8,000 or something like that. I think I got richarddixon.com for maybe £700-800, which is really good for my name, considering the CEO of Barbie has the same name as me. So I kind of got away with it at a bit of a lower cost. But don't go, oh, I'll do it later. I'll build my brand a little bit and then I'll change up my account names. No, go and get this stuff now, because if you start making waves, making traction, then people do this stuff for a living and make money. For any of you that know accountancy, side story, you'll know KPMG, one of the biggest companies in the world. KPMG renamed the whole bankruptcy department to Interpath, right? So around the world, it's all Interpath. I know the person who owns Interpath.uk, who owns at Interpath on Instagram, who owns at Interpath UK on Instagram, who owns all the different things, minus interpath.com and one other handle that business has. I know the person that owns every single one of those, and I'll show you who it is now. It's me, right? I own every single one of those, and I'm just waiting because I put it on whois.com with no price on it, and I'm just waiting for one day KPMG, when the name sticks on a little bit more, they have to buy that off of me. They just have to, because I own the usernames, I own the domains on social media. I can't remember exactly how many I have a whole bunch of different ones. I own them all because I read a thing in a forum that they were thinking about changing it to a couple of different names because I was in a finance rabbit hole, and I just went and bought all the domains. Probably cost me like £150 for all of them, and nothing for the social media handles. So let's see if KPMG come at some point. So people like me will do something like that potentially. I want you to go out and secure your domains as well. So get your websites. So whatever your business name is, if you can get your personal name website as well, eventually when you start making more money and you're seen and known as an expert in your sector, you're going to want to have a personal brand website there. Get you a lot of great opportunities, consulting opportunities, speaking, offers of investment, some really cool stuff. So if you can get your name just now for less than, I know it sounds nuts, but for less than like £500 to £1,000, you're doing pretty well, to be totally honest. So if you're able to afford that, I would definitely recommend grabbing it. I want you to fully analyze your customer avatar. So now that we've spoken about activity times, age, gender, all that kind of stuff, once you get off this call, straight onto your insights, straight onto your analytics, right? And I want you to find out as much as you can about your customer. Note it down so you understand who it is you're actually communicating with every single day in your business. I want you to identify their biggest pain points. Okay, I'm in this business. This is the solution I provide. What are the main objections or the main fucking things that upset people, or the main things that make people struggle with getting to the solution that I provide, and build your marketing around that stuff. I want you to commit 2 hours, only 2 hours per week minimum, to learning and testing. So whether that's doing something like, one of our boot camps eventually, or joining our Growth Getters program, you can apply at growthgetters.com if you fancy that, right? It's not the point of the webinar, but hey ho. There is so much to learn in this game that I guess in a webinar like this, as much as you guys have learned a lot, there's so much more to learn. It can make you so much more efficient and ultimately make your business so much more money. So I want you to commit just 2 hours a week to learning and testing. You want to try out something new, see if it works, see if you get more views, give it a test. Try for 2 hours, test it with your audience, spend a little bit of time learning, sit down. If you're getting access to any of our, online programs, sit down and, watch a couple of hours of the social media mastery program, watch a little bit of the AI optimization program, go through that stuff and, commit some time every single week to learning. That's the only way that you're going to be able to expand realistically. I want you to create and schedule your next 2 weeks of content inside of the next 48 hours. Every platform has its own scheduling tool. So when you go on Instagram, you can design a full post and then click and say that you want it to come out on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. You can choose the next week, Wednesday at 3 o'clock, right? So you can choose all that stuff. So I want you in the next 48 hours to create and schedule your next 2 weeks of main page content. So all that is 6 Instagram posts, 6 LinkedIn posts, 6 Facebook posts, and some captions, right? Jump onto ChatGPT, prompt it appropriately. Don't just go on and be like, write me a caption, I am an investor. Like, it's not going to understand. It's just going to be like, what the fuck kind of caption is this, right? Go on and be friendly with it. Be like, hey, my name's Richard. I run this business. I'm based in Glasgow in Scotland. I'm looking to design a few really catchy Instagram captions for a new social media campaign that I'm doing. Can you let me know a couple of different ways? Can you let me know a couple of different questions that you would like to ask me to make sure that we get the best possible content made today? And ChatGPT or Claude or Jasper, any of these text-based models will send you a list of questions. Hey, Richard, What is your main offering? What is your website? Where are you based? What's your expertise? What's your average client avatar? Blah, blah, blah. All these different things. And it'll help you make those posts, right? It'll help you make the captions. So all you need to do is have the pictures there, get some, we've all got stuff we upload on Instagram, get some of those reels done, get in front of the camera. You know, there's loads of different AI tools out there, a lot of which we cover in our boot camps and whatnot. They're going to go and edit your videos for you and put captions on them and all that kind of stuff. It's absolutely awesome what you can do with AI. So in the next 48 hours, create that. The stories you just do day by day. It takes 20 seconds to post a story. Click, go, click, go. Unless you're super, super, super lazy, you cannot convince me you don't have a minute and a half a day to post a couple of stories. What I also want you to do is when you go on tonight and you're looking at your insights and your analytics to find out your customers, your activity time, your locations, screenshot as much of it as possible. And if you do what I've told you today, and for the next 14 days, you're doing 3 main page posts a week, 5 stories a day, every single day, like including fucking Saturdays and Sundays, you're getting everything done. I want you to screenshot your insights today and compare them in 2 weeks' time. Take 2 sets of screenshots, and you feel free to stick them in the school group as well and show people the different gains that you've made there. Because I guarantee that your percentage interactions is going to absolutely explode. Now we've got a little couple of minutes for Q&A. There's a Q&A box down the bottom. I believe nobody can see your questions. So if you have a question that you don't want me to name you in, please say, don't name me, or I'm going to be like, oh, hey, David's got this question, right? So whilst we're doing that, I'm just quickly going to go and do a pee because I'm going to piss myself because I've been drinking water the whole time. So ask your questions, but make sure you stay on the call. I've still got a bonus to give you at the end. We're going to do this Q&A and then we're going to jump on to the bonus. So any questions you have, feel free to ask in the Q&A box. If you don't have any questions, totally fine. That's all good as well. But I'm just going to nip to the toilet quickly and I'll get your questions when I'm back. So give me 2 wee seconds. Okay, let's see what questions we have. We got any? Oh, I accidentally tripped up when I was walking out. I don't know if he's heard it. I actually did fall into my door because my laces were untied and they're still untied. So someone's asking what I would do to have what if I was them, what I would do to make your business boom. They're the social media company doing your socials. Generally, agencies are overpriced anyway. I would say until you have mastered exactly what I've said to do today, it's a bad question to ask. That's my opinion. Exactly what I'm doing here. This is one of the things about your business because I've seen you mess me all the time. I could not tell you who you are, right? I know who you are. I see your vans. If I seen you in the street, I wouldn't know who you were. I genuinely would not know. We could have met before and spoke before, and I don't remember. Because you're a great example of this in your niche is Candid. Candid are excellent at this. That guy's Brandon's ace, you know. So Jack here, is it better to just focus on one platform and move to the rest in the future? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't know. Is this set as a message? That's weird. That I would say no. I think loads of people imagine this. Oh, do I just focus on dominating Instagram? And then once I've dominated Instagram, I've got Facebook. That again, it's a laziness thing, right? And I'm not saying that to be unkind, but that is your prerogative. You want to do that. Your customers don't. Your customers don't know that you only produce content on Instagram. So see, when they are someone who only uses Facebook, because they're just a customer, they can do what they fucking want. So if they only use Facebook, they don't even know what Instagram is. They've never used it, and they search for you on Facebook, and you're not there. Doesn't matter that you've mastered Instagram. Doesn't matter that your Instagram is awesome. Doesn't matter that you're killing it on Instagram, because that person's not there. So where they looked for you, like you've not produced anything, right? So in my opinion, yeah, I would be saying it's time for you to go all out on all platforms. Personally, that's what I do. Do I think this works for a construction business? Absolutely. I said at the start, I think it works for all businesses. Why would it not work for a construction business? See, to be totally honest, I think it works especially good for a construction business because everyone else in construction is fucking shite at this. Everyone else is fucking terrible. So you're not exactly competing against fucking geniuses. You're not competing against the smartest social media people in the world, right? Like you're competing against probably good tradespeople, guys who are great at their jobs. They might have fucking extra degrees on top and all that. Either they're really good at what they do, but they're no fucking wizard when it comes to being online. Like I've seen it with my own dad. My dad's a great spark. He's fucking shite at social media and all that stuff. He's terrible at it. So yeah, do I think this works for a construction business? Yes, and I also think the quality of your competition when going online and looking to completely dominate online, yeah, I think you're in a particularly good position. That's just mine. Let me scroll through these. I'm hardly even getting time to read them. Is there any actionable steps to take, excluding making consistent content, to turn around your insights and finally have your insights targeting your ideal audience? Let me ask you a question. Is there any chance I'm going to catch a fish without a fucking rod or a hook or fishing line? Is there any actionable steps to take, excluding making consistent content? I don't know if that question's a wind up, right? It does make sense, but it's nuts. That's a nuts question, mate. Like, that's crazy. Is there any actionable steps to take, excluding making consistent content? How else are you meant to attract your customer avatar to your page? If you've got some other way of doing it, let me know. But creating content is the only way. Like, create content that suits your demographic, they enjoy it, they watch it, the algorithm then shows it to other people of that same demographic. The followers will potentially share it, interact, tag friends. You start to grow more of those people, snowball effect. It's bigger, 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 bigger. Yeah, I don't. Sorry if you were looking for some incredible, crazy answer about how you, I don't know, you hack Instagram and send all the followers to you, but no, sorry. That's what you do, man. It's consistency. How much money will it cost to do social media properly? That I would like to think that that question can even answered in a roundabout way on this. And it depends on what you see as properly. If you're following that content schedule, it's not going to cost you anything. You know, if you're just producing that stuff, you can use platforms like Chat GPT 3.5 for free. That's going to help you make stuff. And yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Is, you know, utilize there's plenty of free versions, so it's not going to cost you to do social media, cost you anything to do social media properly, to be totally honest. If you want to go in like a mad way, you're gonna make a decent investment into a big team. But no, if it's not going to cost you much money to go and do that. You have a phone already, you probably pay your phone contract. Cool. Like you're not going to need to go and invest loads of money into this. You need expensive software or whatever. What you need right now, if you're that's an admission of not doing social media properly, if you get what I'm saying. That is it's nothing. No software, no. If you want to start producing movies online and stuff and pure high quality vlog content, yeah, you need to do something. But nah, you're totally fine just now. No money. You're going to be all good. Don't worry. Emma, where can we find more information on the bootcamp? Well, unfortunately, what I gave you on here is all the information. It's not something I promote online. We have obviously our main Growth Getters event and Growth Getters Mastermind and all these different other things, but the bootcamp is just like it's a little 2-day training that people can get access to. Sometimes if I'm speaking at an event, I'll offer it at the event and they can purchase it. So if you go on the Growth Getters website, growthgetters.com, you're not going to find the bootcamp. It's not something you can apply for. It's not something you can buy because it's not something I like ram-packed with loads of people. I just do them like every now and then. It just happened to be that we had a backlog of people that booked it, so that's why we're doing 2 inside of 2 weeks, or a little bit less than 2 weeks. So yeah, I mean, there's maybe a chance you can speak to my team at some point about that, but yeah, I'm not. So no sales webinar. So I would love to have you come and join it, but right now this is not the medium to do it. Okay, I'm going to take one more page. One more question. Aaron asked, when posting between 3x main page posts per week, 5x stories, how should they differ in terms of certain types of information? Better to give out in stories compared to main page? But no, doesn't change. Doesn't matter. Just as long as it fits the screen, if you get what I'm saying. So if you're posting a video on your story, don't have some landscape video with all this space here and stuff. But no, you're going to get generally just as many people viewing your posts as you do your stories. If a story goes really well, it only goes certainly far. If a post goes really well, it can go viral, right? So there's no nah. And also, I would need to know your product to even know what the information is. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, no, the information does not matter. I would say you're completely fine. I wouldn't freak out. So yeah, you'd be good just posting as you wish. Don't put too much thought into your content, guys, in the sense of I should really do this type of post, I should really do that. I'm going to sit for ages and really think about what amazing value I can put. If you've got less than 5k followers just now, you shouldn't even really be putting that much thought into the content. It should be volume. That should really be what you're doing, I was going to ask quickly, obviously with this being a free training, Andrew's just about to get a bonus that is an absolute fucking belter. I was going to ask a little favour for those of you that are in here. I like to put these trainings on. They're no cost. They get a lot of benefit for people. I normally get a whole bunch of people. Someone just raise a hand. I'm not quite sure why. So I just turning the raise hand feature off. So yeah, I put these trainings on for free, get a lot of benefit for people. It's cool for me as well because sometimes people will end up coming to one of our other programs, or I'll do some consultancy with them. We'll help scale the business together. We'll work on that stuff together, which I always find really exciting. But I put these on for free just to give the information out, help build my brand a little bit as well. But I was going to ask for something in return, a little bit of a favour. And it's something super simple that we all can do, and it also helps you start your content creation journey. I was going to say, if you don't mind and you're on this training, it would be amazing if you could just take a little photo, stick it on your Instagram account, tag me on it. You don't need to write any crazy huge review and anything mad like that. So if you grab a little photo, stick it on your Instagram, that's my little benefit, I guess. It gets my content out there to more people. It's another example of good sowing of the seeds on social media. And you never know, you might see other people out there that have got businesses that will come along and be able to do different trainings like this and actually get a positive benefit in their life. So yeah, for those of you that have maybe already done that, my phone's just sitting here. Obviously, I've been on the training the whole time. I really appreciate it. And for those of you who are going to do it or in the process of doing it, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's nice to see people coming along on a Sunday, spending some time working on their business. So let me get this set up for a screen share so that I can give you guys this bonus, right? Let's scroll down, bonus, share screen, advanced. Okay. I'm sure you guys can all see that fine, which is good. So now it's the bonus time, right? This is probably the best bonus I've ever done. I think this bonus is absolutely fucking dynamite, personally. And we offered this bonus for a small group of people on this training, not Friday 2 days ago, but Friday the week before. It got the offer, the bonus got booked out in around about 30 seconds. So before I'd even finished the webinar, the bonus was booked out, which I thought was quite funny, to be honest. But it's a good thing, shows action taken. It's not exactly a bad trait. But this is one of the best, clearly most popular bonuses I've ever really given away. So who would like to dive a little bit deeper into this stuff? You know, just spend a little bit more time. You know, this is a training that is obviously really good, super powerful, but there are probably people in here that have specific questions for themselves and a little bit more guidance. Maybe you're even getting ahead of yourself and you're trying to, you know, do stuff that you're not quite ready to do yet. You need to strip it back, you know, simplify your social media. But everyone in here is going to have their own questions, their own things that they want to do also. It's just unfortunate on a webinar like this, you know, I'm catering to different people. I'm not able to take a whole bunch of personal questions or unmute people or, you know, bring them on screen with me and stuff like that. It's a little bit less personal. So I'm going to offer you something really, really cool. And it is a no sales guaranteed 30-minute strategy call with one of my experts in my team. So I've got two guys in particular work with me. They're absolutely amazing. So bear in mind, these people come here to work with me. They already have skills, but they're trained personally by me. Right. So these guys go and do all of my outreach for my different Growth Getters members, Growth Getters Mastermind members, going through exactly what it is they need to do to get the social media game to like an A1 position. So I want to offer this out to you guys. Now, normally, to give you an idea, if this was me doing a 30-minute strategy call, this would be around about £1,500 plus VAT, right? One of my team doing this normally costs around £600 plus VAT. So this is a free thing that is normally pretty expensive. So you're saving yourself, you know, 600 odd quid here, which is pretty decent. If you're not VAT registered, you're saving even more. So this is a no sales guaranteed 30-minute strategy call purely around value. They're going to go in with a checklist. They're going to triage your social media. They're going to have a look at what it is you're doing. They're going to give you basically some advice, some tips, and a strategy to go away with to make sure that you're actually able to start doing this stuff in a big way. You're building stuff that's specific to your business, and ultimately you'll get into a position where you can start generating more money online. And the reason I say no sales guaranteed is because I really mean it. They're not going to take you on this call and start, you know, trying to take your card details and all that. And I'm so confident about that here is my guarantee. You know, if they try to sell you something on that call, I'll send you £1,000 for wasting your time. So if you get on that first call with one of my experts and they say to you, oh, hey, by the way, yeah, it sounds really good. Why don't you book the boot camp? Why don't you jump into Growth Getters? Why don't you come on board with this, that, and the next thing, right? I'll send you £1,000 for wasting your time. This is 30 minutes of free value from me to you that would normally cost you, including VAT, £720. So it's a really, really, really good bonus. Now I'm going to be clicking onto the next screen, which is going to show you how you're going to be able to book it. It's through a QR code. So if you have your phone handy, get ready to scan the QR. It's going to give you a bunch of different appointments on Calendly. You can book it in. These are via Zoom, these appointments. So you can go on Calendly and you're able to book it. If you aren't able to scan it and you're watching this training on your phone, you need to screenshot it and then scan the QR code soon. Now, we've picked a whole bunch of appointments over the week, but once there are 6 appointments booked, there is no more. So you might look and see, oh, there's like 5 for tomorrow, this, that, the next thing. It's just to allow you guys to have more time, aka you might not suit a time that's in the morning, there might be one in the afternoon. if none of the times suit you, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to get the call. Apologies, because I've already put 6 of these calls aside. It is what it is, but I'm hoping there's going to be times there that suit everyone. But there's 6 of these, okay? So just make sure you're nice and fast, you book, and you get your 30-minute free strategy call, because it's going to be able to give you a huge amount of value. Some of the feedback I've had from the people who've been on there, and also the feedback from my experts, has been absolutely insane. They're really loving chatting to everyone, seeing the different things they're doing. It's a good motivation for them as well, getting to give that information, seeing people go out there and take action. So here is the QR code. You scan this just now. It's going to take you to the Growth Getters. Pardon me, it's going to take you to the Growth Getters Calendly account, where you can book your strategy call. You can get a lot of value inside of that call. If for some reason you were on this webinar 2 weeks ago, or a week and a bit ago, and you've already had your strategy call, please do not book another one, because I will know if you do, because it's my account they all get booked on, and I'll have to remove your appointment because you've already had a benefit from this bonus. So I hope you've enjoyed having that bonus. Someone has said something in the Q&A. Martin Riddle said, done this last week with Finn, and honestly, best thing I have done all year for my business. No sales pitch and a follow-up call booked. Listen to this. Plus, my Instagram engagement has went up 1,350%. Martin, man, that is fucking amazing, mate. That is absolutely sick. Done this last week with Finn. Honestly, best thing I've ever done all year for my business. No sales pitch and a follow-up call booked. Plus, my Instagram engagement has went up 1,350%. By the way, for any think I'm talking shit, I'm going to fucking screenshot this and drag it into the bit that you guys can see, right? Can anyone see that? I'm dragging it in here. Look. Oh my God, Martin, mate, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. That's absolutely fantastic. What a great result, mate. 1,550%. Oh, and it's just the start for you, bro. It's just the start. Be able to do big things with your business, man. I can feel it. I know it for sure. Everyone, thank you so much for being on this webinar today. Really appreciate it. We're at about 4 o'clock just now. Jeez. It's a long old day. It's a long old day, 4:05. I told you this webinar was going to be long, full of value. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been awesome having you all here. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, says no times in October. It might be fully booked out. Yeah, let me go and check. Stop share. I'll tell you just now before I go. Let me check. What days? What's the day's date? Okay, one sec. Try again. Add a filtering setting on it so that you can't book inside of like 48 hours, so that people don't book like last minute. But that was cancelling out the start of the week. So you should be able to get that now. Oh, no time's October. By the way, guys, please only book this if you are a business owner and if you are over the age of 18 years old. So if for some reason you're here and you're 12 and you're working out how to increase the revenue of your paper run, it's not going to be as good for you. So make sure you scan this QR. That is going to get you your 30-minute strategy call. So like I was saying, thank you very much for being on here. I really appreciate it. It's been good fun. I've enjoyed the training. Now I've got to go away and pick some stuff up at my house, get my suits cleaned because I've got a wedding this week in Belfast. So yeah, it's a busy one for me, but yeah, it's been really enjoyable being here with you guys as always. Thank you very much for all the input and the different questions I was able to answer, albeit not all of them. I think we got 24 questions in total, but I'm only able to pick out a few at a time. So yeah, what I'm going to do is Everyone should have been able to scan this QR by now. If you've not scanned it yet, please screenshot it, because I'm just about to wrap up the training. And yeah, I appreciate it so much, guys. It's been really good. And for those of you that have tagged up on Instagram and all that kind of stuff, I really appreciate that too. And I can't wait to see some similar results like what Martin has had, which has made me fucking really happy seeing that. It's going to be amazing for all you guys on there going and getting something awesome done too. So I'm going to stop the screen share. It's back to me now, just on the camera. Thank you very much for joining, guys, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Cheers.